Hello, and welcome to Zaxria. We are back for another night at the Not So Round Table. Thanks for tuning in, and if you are, make sure that you're following so you can be put in the giveaway once we reach 100 followers for a copy to a guide. Wait, Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Yes, a copy of the book Xanathar's Guide to Everything. I'm quite tired, if you couldn't tell, but we're going to still play some D&D today. Also, if you're subscribing, you can get put in for a custom mini from Hero Forge. We're pretty close, and by pretty close I mean like 30 people away from 100. Almost so there. Just be sure to follow, and
basically there.
Just takes a little click of a little heart that you see like right at the bottom right there. Just click it and you're good to go. This is episode, I believe, 74. The VODs all the way up till episode 69 are on YouTube. If you go and look at our YouTube, there's also a podcast on there, along with other D&D games and a Cyberpunk one-shot and some other stuff that you can go and check out. So, without further ado, last you had left off, you guys initially split up doing your own preparation, eventually met back up in Arkanoria and headed to Southbrook from there. Azrael finished the construction of his new enormous weapon. Ander also had gained a bit of knowledge of alchemy, creating kind of two potions to himself. And you guys saw that Ander was also able to get on this small little fishing boat with this kind old man who was very easily convinced to take a whole day's travel with a stranger at sea. Nevertheless, he brought him to Redwater, which is Ander's childhood home. There he spoke to a village elder who was really the only one who remembered Redwater before the pirates came. Within there, and within Southbrook, Ander spent the night there waiting for you guys to return. And then once you were all gathered, you all headed to the military ward, where you found Captain Fletcher. You could tell that he was very anxious and ready to go. Couple of things that he seemed to be trying to prepare for and just get out of there as quickly as possible now that the ships were fully prepared. And you guys inspected these kind of navigation hubs on the ships and were quite impressed. On the inside, Karina assured you of its quality and that it will work. Fletcher informed everyone that you were setting sail, and after an inspirational speech for the glory of Southbrook, you began to set sail. At this point, the water gently chops on the hulls of all of the ships. The wooden fleet groans and creaks as it pushes onward to the northwest. You can feel a sea breeze splashing water directly up onto the deck, where the crew, at this point, after a few hours of sailing, has come to a lull, now that everything has been pretty much set, rope tied down, sails in position, going with the wind. You can see some of them are sitting on barrels and crates, leaning over the side and enjoying the ocean air. You're not sure exactly how long it'll take, but you were told at least a couple of months. From your best guess that it'll be just to reach the edge of where the Sea of Souls is. And you remember the Sea of Souls having this very prominent edge of where it begins and where it ends. Right now, you are sailing still within the Klempt Sea. So you are like leaving Southbrook here, and you're not going directly north. This is in part to Southbrook actually not being like directly beneath the Sea of Souls. Southbrook actually rests kind of just south of Venore, maybe a little bit to the left of it, but it's in the Klempt Sea predominantly. There's quite a bit of a voyage before you actually get over into this territory over here. And then this portion of the sea that isn't like within the Sea of Souls is just pretty much considered the Klempt Sea for a certain point, and Dragon's Maw Ocean for a certain point. It's just very vague as to where that begins and ends. But the Sea of Souls is just kind of like its own separate entity that resides within all of this. So you guys are probably about hereabouts as you're just starting to head up. And as you are heading up, you can see that everybody is, like I said, just lolling, sitting around, not doing much. Fletcher, after everybody, and he kind of goes and commands about, you do notice General Haverdash is not on this boat, from what you can tell. Looking out at all of the other boats, it's really hard to tell if there's anybody you can recognize at a distance, like further out onto the other boats, as there are, at least 6 or so to either side of you as you're kind of heading the front. You're almost in this like flock type formation where you can see the boat that you were on towards the front is just kind of leading the way. And the boat itself that you were on is very, very well constructed. You can tell that it's older and it seems to be well kept. All of the wood on it is this very, very sturdy kind of like oak, it appears to be. there are these very, very heavy-duty nails that are residing in the deck boards themselves, adhering to the frame of the boat. You can see that the side rails are also made of this very, very fine wood. They have their nice smooth edge on the top instead of just like what you're normally used to seeing on some boats. It's just like these will look like wooden boards that are smacked together and then one long one across. These have a little bit of craftsmanship to them. There are 4 ballistas that you can see that are mounted to the boats themselves. They don't seem to be on like any sort of rolling carts or anything that you can tell. They are pretty well made. There are these large crates that sit next to them that have a bunch of bolts lined into them, and then you can see next to that crate there's actually like this very, very long chain that has almost some sort of like a clip attachment onto one end, and then another end that's like anchored to the boat itself for whatever reasons. Maybe it'd be like boarding another ship to slam into it, and then there seems to be like this crank pulley that's also attached next to that. So you can see that it is very well equipped for some sort of offensive attack if need be. The steel plating that you can see along all of the edges and the hull and like the sides where some of the porthole windows are, it's not super aesthetic, like pleasing to the eye in any sort of a way. It's very tackily like put up on there, like in the best places they could where they thought that they would be needed. You're aware that the Golden Fleet, like the Golden Navy, has had run-ins with pirates before, so they understand what they're going into and the technology that they have that's a little further ahead of what, you know, the actual Royal Navy has. So they are aware of what cannons are and what the cannonballs and the pirates having pistols and everything, which is a large reason as to why they're so rampant and, you know, not very well controlled. You can also see the boat itself. Up towards the front, the naval ram that's on it is this sort of, I always forget the name of the front part of the fucking boat that like comes off. Yeah. It's got some sort of like specific name to it, but I can't think of it. But anyhow, as it comes off the front, I'm like imagining Assassin's Creed Black Flag in my head and like trying to like go through the categories of like shit you can customize, and I can't see the name. I almost want to say it's like an arabesque or something weird. But the front part of it, instead of it being like how you traditionally would see maybe like a, you know, a beautiful woman ascending forward, or like a dragon head or some sort of creature that's jutting outward, you see 3 waves that are kind of coming forward. There's one that's up towards the top, and then they just slowly kind of taper down towards the actual front of the boat to go to the keel a little bit better. It is made of a very, very hard steel from what you can tell, and upon closer inspection, it looks like it has a bunch of these, I don't want to say welts, but there's a bunch of bumps and stuff that are onto it and welded to it to where when it hits, it's not just like this flat surface that has no like real hard structure to it. It almost like it's been added onto here to cause it to have a little bit more oomph and push to it. Also, you can see that there is probably a good 40 people or so on each boat, and it's very necessary. It seems that more than half of them are needed to just keep the boat moving and going in the right direction. Even though they're sitting and kind of lulling around here and there, you can see them walking over to the ropes, and they possibly like see that it's a little bit slack and then grab it and kind of crank it down for a second. Or they go over to the sails and kind of make their way up and start tying some things off up there possibly. There's constantly something for them to be doing at some point or another, and then it seems that about half of the crew that is not up here currently is below deck getting the rest that they know that they're going to need for the night that they're probably going to have to be on the crew. There's a good amount of familiar faces amongst the crew. People are very friendly, offer you drinks, food, tell you where everything is. If you need anything, you know, let them know. So everybody is very accommodating and friendly to you. And honestly, for the good, I'm going to kind of jump forward and travel here. If there's anything you guys needed or wanted to do along the way, you're more than welcome to. But we're going to go about a week forward. So you were on the 7th. You would now be on the 14th.
Check that day.
That day? Okay, so you can do it right now if you would like to.
Okay.
You've got how many more? 4 or 2?
I have 4 right now.
Okay, so you have 2 left.
2
okay, got
and
it.
And then if it's the 14th, I'll make another one.
Okay, got it. Go ahead and make this check.
What's my DC going to be?
So right now, presently, it's just going to be 12 for the week, just to get to the next portion.
27.
27?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, reroll. At 20.
Nice. Okay, so you got a success with that week.
Yep.
14. 7. 14. 7.
Should still be good for the week, right?
So we're going to the 21st.
I think I may have already said that we jump forward a week. Unless we were...
Left on the 14th.
Right, so my bad. This would be the 21st.
Okay. I mean, either way,
Still a
my
week.
next check was the 14th.
Yeah. A week from whenever you left is where we're going to be right now. Just because that's where you needed to be for the setup here. Okay, so you're good, right?
I think the only thing I would have done
Reroll for the
is
week. 15.
tell Fletcher
19.
about the creatures we've encountered before and like what to look for. And
Okay. Well enough.
just things to like watch out for and be prepared for things we might encounter. In the Sea of Souls, yeah, ghost pirates, lightning creatures, you know, the works.
Got it.
Yeah.
got the,
Random
damage
things,
boost.
krakens
What's
maybe,
that?
who
Got the
knows?
damage boost on.
Okay, sweet.
Favor.
No, if I did, we're 14th level, we could probably.
It's just like a flat one, right? It's not
Yeah.
like specific anything. Okay, just making sure.
That would be fine.
What's the other one from Greek mythology? Not the Kraken, but the one with is it 1,000 eyes or something? That like no. Okay.
I think there's like a Leviathan.
Maybe it's a Leviathan.
There's
It's like protects the pass, and like there's a whirlpool.
oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
fucking A.
It's not Cthulhu.
No, it's not. But it'll like I know exactly what you're talking about. It starts with like a
Yeah, and it's got like eyes, like it's got
Yeah.
1,000 arms.
and then it
or
like
eyes.
opens its mouth
Yeah,
and makes a whirlpool.
and sucks every.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Fuck.
It's gonna.
Why does this keep happening? Trying to remember the name of the front part of the fucking ship. The fucking thing. Yeah, it's fucking figurehead. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought it had some sort of fancy ass name, like an Arabest. I thought it had a very fancy name. That's
Cilia, maybe.
no, it's got some like. There's like a Z in there, I think. Or a Z. Yep.
Carbidus.
Yes, Carbidus. Carbidus. That's exactly what it is.
Gigantic whirlpool in the
Yeah.
Straits of Messina.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Quite one of those.
I feel way better now. Thank you, Google. Okay.
I could take
You made your checks. You're good, right? Okay, so we're now at the 21st of Avareth. It's during the day at this point, so just remember at night to make your final check, Connor.
before that. He's gonna kill us right here.
Fletcher, in his captain's quarters, you make conversation with him here and there, along with Moldrak, letting him know of the things you've encountered in the past within the Sea of Souls, and the things that you just kind of know about it that he may not know. And you can tell that his knowledge of it is not very great. It's very basic as to it just being a very dangerous place to be at sea. He doesn't seem totally ignorant to everything. Like, he's heard definitely stories of things that could have happened and occurred within there. But you definitely seem to have more experience within there than he does, as he lets you know that he's never set any sort of set sail, if you would, within the Sea of Souls. Has no desire to do so, just because of, you know, the risk and the reward of doing it. However, though, there comes a time where it's probably about midday on the 21st at this point. The weather is a bit more chill in the air, as you can tell, aside from it just getting cooler within the year itself as you're getting towards the end of it, or the beginning of the end of the year. Being at sea, it's much cooler. The water splashing up every now and then, for those of you that aren't fully used to it, messes with you a little bit. The sea spray, along with the wind that's coming off, kind of picking up bits of water and splashing it up onto the deck, it's a little chilly. It's not crazy, but it's a little chilly. Like, the rays of the sun coming down on you are very welcoming as you feel the warmth against your skin. But as you can see right now, the sun at this point is kind of setting over towards your left, like it's getting to like the middle part of the afternoon to where it's kind of past the top part of the sky. Then it's starting to make its descent directly west of you, so you know that now at this point you're pretty much heading north. There's no more of this northwest kind of trail. You've almost made this bit of a half circle or moon shape ascent, and now we're just in this straight line. Some of the constellations at night for you, Connor, you know exactly where you are. Like, you can almost imagine the world of Zaxria in your mind, and at any point, if you see the stars, can just like pinpoint exactly where you are just based on your association with where the constellation is above you. So you know that you're heading in the right direction. You're not worried about that, and it's more of just like a quick self comfort for you, like we're not getting lost, because you know that they're confident enough and everybody's competent to know where they're going, especially with the directions that you guys originally gave them once you actually get into the Sea of Souls. But you know that you are heading to the border point of it. You do notice that you may be a little bit more east than you should be. Maybe you should be a bit more like westward to actually hit it, because at this point it seems like you're going to actually run into probably like the coast of Venore at the trajectory that you're at. Not 100% sure why, but it's just kind of like in the back of your mind. At this point, Fletcher walks out of the captain's quarters, makes his way up to the helm of the ship. You can see that he has a couple of people that are, they would seem to be like trusted crew members of his, that he has actually taken the helm at some points. As I said, his kind of first mate, who you assume to be General Haverdash, isn't anywhere to be seen. But a couple of these people every now and then go over and grab the helm and take that over for him. You can see him kind of pat the back of one and then look down at the lot of you that are above deck right now at this moment. Wraith at this point is just in like a small form, just because it's a lot more, it just makes more sense. All of you sitting at the deck right now, what exactly are you doing in this moment on the deck? Like, just imagine you've been traveling for a little while, you're sitting on the deck of the boat. What are you doing?
Oh, what time of day is it?
It's like pushing into the middle part of the afternoon, so like maybe like 2, 3.
Moldrak is probably just like staying in shape, doing some exercises.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yep.
Pulling up on one of the like
Beams?
masts or
Yeah.
something.
I would imagine I would have had a conversation with Andrew at some point
Okay.
about chemical things.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So he's probably just going to be having some like bread on the rail, and then drawing some possible ideas.
Okay. Yeah, and Anders just like on a crate next to you, like kicked back, holding the bread, like tearing it up and like eating it. And then he's like pointing over every now and then at something that you may be drawing down as he's like popping the bread into his mouth.
Just kind of just sitting back, reading my book and trying to finish this up.
Okay.
And I'm studying that.
Still looking at it?
Yeah, I'm trying to,
intently.
like, after the information I got before, I'm, like, trying to figure out how to, like, communicate with whatever is inside of it.
Okay.
I don't know, like, tapping on it or trying to connect with it in a certain way.
Okay. Holding it, like, just at a very basic level of it, you definitely agree with what the High Priestess told you, that it's very like innately evil and that it is the soul of something, and it's only because you have that kind of intuitive ability to where you can sense and detect it, and you can just feel the presence that's within the orb. Exactly what you can do with it, or trying to like communicate it and like push your thoughts into it or hear something from it, something there feels a little off, like it may not be feasible, but you just, there's something about it that is just like you're trying to crack the code on what the hell this is for, or why you even do it, or were able to. But as you're holding it, you can see Zarbrax and Naris are also at the deck, and then Captain Fletcher just kind of shouts out, "Keepers, if you would, to the quarters. I have something to speak with you with."
Alright, come on, guys. And then inside.
All right. As you guys make your way into the quarters here of Captain Fletcher's little spot, It's not super extravagant. It's well made and well put together. It's better than a lot of the other captain's quarters you've seen, even the ones on the Peacekeeper. This one has a little bit taller, like of a ceiling within it. The beams that are going across are actually like sanded and stained, and everything in here is well put together. And there's this big window on the back. It's not like just one big ass piece of glass. There's actually like panes in it, and that's more for like structural purposes and just not having the technology to just put this big ass piece of glass up. So there's a lot of like wooden supports on it on both sides, you can see. The glass itself is pretty well kept. You can actually see that a lot of the ship stays pretty clean. There are a good amount of the crew members that you see with mops and buckets, with rags, walking around with just like a small bucket in their arm, and they're going around wiping things down. Everybody seems to be very, very diligent in keeping everything in order in regards to the cleanliness and both the function of everything. But once you're within here, you can see that there is a map fully splayed out onto a table separate from his desk. There's one that's mounted to the floor. It's like this quite sizable square table that sits in the middle of the room. It's got a couple of things hanging off of it, like pencils. There's like a protractor, a long ruler, sorts of other accoutrements, if you would, that will go with the map. The wall itself has a couple of shelves. The shelves have this large... So if the shelf is like here, there's like a piece of wood about this big in front of it, just to keep shit from like flying off of it, obviously. A couple of books are up on top of it. Most of them are like basic nautical knowledge of things. A lot of them seem to have collected quite a bit of dust and probably not been looked at or used for a while, and more of a decoration piece, if anything, at this point. There's a little bit of a slight grade you can see, like on the back part of the the captain's quarters, where it like kind of slopes down, and then there's just like a bunk that's sitting on top of that kind of just tucks into the corner. Looks like that's also mounted down a little bit. Looks like it has some nice linen and stuff with it. A couple of other random decorations. There seems to be like a broken ship anchor that's just kind of set over to the side. However, at this point, now that you guys are all within here, there's a sizable amount of room to where everybody can fit. You're a little snug, but everybody can fit and like see the table in the center that he now has like placed his hands on the side of as he's looking at the map in front of him. So, how has your travel been at sea?
So far, so good.
I've been having a good time. It's good to be back out at sea. We haven't really been, it's good to be back out at sea.
A little wet. But
Yes. Well, at least enjoy this part of it before it gets a little dicey.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been about a week now of travel, and we are only about 3 or 4 days from our first endeavor of this trip, if you would.
Okay.
I probably should have divulged it before we left, but we were in a little bit of a hurry, so I will tell you a little bit more of it now. We plan on creating an ambush to draw some of the Taken Serpent scum out from the Sea of Souls. A peddler in Southbrook is a pretty nasty spy for the Taken Serpent. He has a very well protected way of getting his information across. We never know how he does it, but we do know that he gives them some. When we learned of this, we began taking strides for this very endeavor. We had given false information we knew would reach him of an unguarded cargo ship headed for Venore. You may have seen it in the naval ward when we were loading up. We put just some copper, scrap metal, other random things within it. You do remember it, Molchak, very specifically. And although they are scum, they know better than us to leave something unpromised or unguarded, if you would. But for the promise of gold, they'll send at least 3 ships, hopefully more. Whatever comes, we're going to sink it to the sea. Nobody leaves. They don't need to know that we're coming 20 strong. However, there is an additional part of this plan that I believe would be best suited for people of your particular skill sets.
Okay.
We think that it would be best, or at least good for us, to capture at least 3 of these pirates, or more, in order to question them. Get a better look on what's going on inside of the Sea of Souls, or wherever the Taken Serpent may be, or the fleet itself. how many ships strong they are, men strong, whatever they have. Our plan is as follows. If there's anything that you wish to alter with it, or if there's another route that you would like to take, we can go with that. But with the cargo ship, if you would all like to wait aboard the ship, as I said, we are not too far out from where we need to be. Once upon the ship, we are anticipating it to be boarded. We'd like you to quickly incapacitate 3 of them, or more if you could, and somehow return them to this ship, and then once you are here safely, we'll sink the ships. Once you're clear, there's a good amount of oil barrels beneath the deck of the cargo ship. There is a wick above the deck to be lit, so I'm not exactly sure how you want to pull it off, but this is what we've sort of started as some sort of a plan. The cargo ship will go out with you on it. You bring back whom or whatever you can to get some information. Whether you are there doing so or returning, we need to make sure that we send all of the ships to the sea. The cargo ship, as I said, has a bunch of scrap on it. So, I don't know if you think it'd be better to light the barrels and cause some sort of big explosion, or you to just make your way out over here and we come forth and put the ships down. But tomorrow morning we'll be approaching the area to be raided, so hopefully within the next few hours here we can get you transferred over and sail ahead. You do notice at this point that the ships have slowed down a bit, and you can hear a lot of commotion, like on the deck, as they're probably just like slowing down the sails so everybody's not just like cruising forward. Questions and concerns, keepers? I'm sure that the concerns probably outweigh the questions.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't have a lot of concerns, but
Taken people before,
yeah, we
and
have.
they don't really say much.
Although, I mean, if we, the more people we take, the more likely we have someone who would be willing to talk.
Yes.
Well, General Havardash has a way with the pirates, making them talk. He's on one of the other ships currently, but when we start to slow down and prepare your transfer over, we can have him come to this ship and maybe he can help out with some interrogation purposes.
Just in my brain here, Billy, how long ago was the Taken Serpent, like were they up by the Iron Depths?
Oh boy.
That was when we
Yeah, I'm trying
When
to
they
piece-
were in the
piece some
Iron Depths,
information
you
together.
guys were within Arkanoria on the sky ship going to get the electricity.
Yeah.
So that would have probably been at the very most like 3 months ago.
Okay.
Just because a lot of the travel you guys have been doing has been a lot of teleportation type
Yeah.
travel. So you guys have done quite a bit in the meantime, but I'd say probably at most about 3 or so months ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of ways we can incapacitate them, we can knock them out, we can use magical means. I don't actually know if we have magical means to knock people out. Yeah, I mean, incapacitating people isn't a problem.
I figured that that would not be an issue for you. It's more of the getting away from the explosion of the ship.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that either.
All right.
We
I
can
don't know.
So we can run across the surface.
I don't know if you would like to bring your entire company of keepers, or if it'd be easier to have a select few, particular ones. But whatever you think is going to be best.
I feel like we usually work better as a unit.
All right. We'll load you all up on it then. And I know that you are all capable of sailing, and with Captain Anders' help, I'm sure that you can do what needs to be done.
That's true.
Once we've completely stopped here, I'm having the cargo ship make its way over. We can board you on it and send you on your way. We'll wait probably a few hours, I'd say, before we start to trail behind you.
Okay.
We'd like to be at least close enough to where we'll start to become into vision, but not close enough to where we're going to scare any pirates off that see us coming.
My only concern, because I like to prepare in my brain for the worst possible scenario,
Right.
is what if it is not simply a few ships, but their whole revelry, because they were already this way.
Right. I too thought of this. And in that moment, I'd say there's not really too much we can plan for in that regard, but we will haul ass towards you if we see that there is anything like that. And the fight will have come to us a lot sooner than we thought, but we definitely feel ready for them. But at this point, the point of this mission is to get more of an idea of what we're going against exactly.
Gotcha.
If we have to go to a fight blindsided, and
Well,
so be it, but if we
yeah.
can get some information, that would work.
We will see. We have ways we may be able to get away, but hopefully it will not come to that. But I think everybody is in agreement that we will all go, and Azrael is pretty good at getting information out of people as well. Sorry, I don't know if you wanted me to divulge that.
No, you're good. The last time the captain of that ship did not want to talk at all, but we got some information out of one of the other surviving crew members. But the captains definitely have a strong sense of loyalty. They'd rather die before just giving up secrets.
As I'd hope my men would do the same.
Well,
But as natural for any human being, at some point there's a threshold for when you just have to talk. Your instincts kick in.
Well, hopefully we don't have to push that threshold too hard and they give us the information we need, but as you know as well as I, things like that don't happen quite often.
Oh, they do not.
But I feel confident that this is quite necessary to do. I'm not entirely comfortable with at least not giving it a try before just going in blindly.
well, I think, more information is definitely better in this kind of a scenario.
Agreed.
So wait, are we going tonight?
It feels at this point that the ship has stopped, and he kind of looks and you can see that it looks like it's just kind of rocking. The cargo ship will be making its way over here, so if there's any other preparations you'd like to do or things you'd like to take with you, I prepare those, and once it gets here we can send you on your way.
Probably just some food for the few hours we will be there. Be on the ship, maybe.
Certainly, I can prepare for that. And I'd say if things do go in a direction that you're not too content with, some sort of a signal would be a good idea.
We can do signals.
You'll definitely know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if anybody else has any questions for Captain Fletcher here.
Not at this time.
Alright, well if you do, you know where to find me.
Yep.
Very well. He takes his hands from the table and walks out past you, and then you guys make your way out as well onto the deck there. You can see a lot of the crew members are over to the sides of the ship. You can hear this very, very loud bit of clanking that's going on. The crew members that are kind of just running and going about, they seem to have pulled a few of these long wooden boards out, like gangplanks, that they're bringing up towards the front part of the ship. And then you can see coming from the right side of the fleet, out in the front of it, that cargo ship. It's a lot more robust and wide as it's making its way down towards you. It's not a galleon, it is like a true cargo ship. as you start making your way into that direction, you can see up towards the front of the ship where they're laying out the wood, a couple of people are like very hurriedly making their way over with a couple of crates that they set down to have at least enough rations for the day or so travel that it's going to be. They walk them over on the planks that you can see as the boat's kind of coming up. They have these longer ropes with some heavy-duty grappling hooks, but they're not pointed at all. They just have like these. They're not like rubber. There's more of just like a very soft material, like a leather or a canvas that's put onto the hook that they just kind of toss over so it doesn't like hook into the wood or anything crazy. And then he starts pulling it back, like a bunch of them. There's probably like a good 10 or so crew members that are like pulling. They get the front part to start to angle in, and then the next length of people start throwing them towards the back to just pull the boat a little closer. It's still a good like 15 or so feet, but the piece of wood just knocks over to the other side, and it's kind of sliding back and forth in between, but they seem to just kind of grab it and hold it down a little bit with a little bit of an anchor that they have themselves of their body weight, and they're just waiting for you to cross.
I'll cross over first. I'm just gonna do like a once over. I'm gonna probably is there like a below deck, or is everything above deck?
It looks like a good amount of stuff is below deck, and there's only like a hatch that opens in the middle that you can set more things into.
Okay.
All right. But you guys all begin making your way over and climbing onto the ship itself. As I said, it's very wide, but it's not very deep. The hull itself is a lot of just like dead space of like wood to cause it to have a lot more like buoyancy to it. There's a lot of pieces of wood that you can imagine are put all throughout in channels, like these long hulls and rivets on the keel. But the way that it's positioned and set up, there is only like the main deck. There's like a little bit of maybe like a 3-foot platform that goes up to the top where the helm of the ship is. One main large sail and then 2 smaller sails at the front and back. The deck of the ship has probably 2 or so dozen barrels and crates that are just scattered all throughout the top of it. And then, like I said, the 2 large hatches in the middle that open up just from like some sort of a lever or a latch. The doors themselves are probably like 5 by 6 feet wide.
I left my backpack and all the big guns on the captain's ship.
Okay.
I just grabbed a handful of bullets out of my backpack and stuffed them in my pocket.
Okay. You got the pistol?
Yeah.
Okay. Revolver. Okay. So, anything else you want to do before you begin sailing off?
No, I don't think so. I'm thinking if these taken serpent ships are gonna rob us, they might follow us for a bit, and if they see who's on the deck, they might be less likely to attack the ship. Like cloaks.
Is it dark outside? Or
No.
we're doing this in the daylight?
You're imagining it could be probably within the daylight that it's going to happen.
Well, I was thinking like, if we had some sort of like cloaks or something or coverings.
My pacify soul feature,
Mm-hmm.
does that make the other target does it make them compliant? Like if
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to know. Just calm him down while he's getting interviewed. And he's like a rock. It's like did the rock.
I'm gonna go see if. Hey, you guys have any like rain cloaks?
We usually have like leather burlaps that we throw on.
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
Right.
We get 7 of them.
Certainly, yeah.
Maybe actually do like 10 because we have some big people.
All right.
Need to like stitch 2 together.
There may be a few on the deck over there as well if you want to look around. I'll grab what I can from here, though.
Didn't look, but I will.
Yeah. You see only like 2 or 3.
Okay, maybe
You see
just
one that's like
5 or
a
6.
pretty large size.
No, okay.
Yeah. But the ones that he brings back, you'd think that. So there's only 2 of the like burlaps that are at least large enough to like cover up, like either you, Chelonia, or Zarbrax. So one of you are going to have to go without actually being like fully like covered up.
I'm the least concerned about Chelonia being covered because I feel like it's least likely that he'll be known to be associated with us.
Oh,
so
okay.
as long as Zarvarax is covered, I'm covered.
Okay.
I mean, you could just wear normal. You don't have to. You could cover up with your.
I mean, I can just swap my clothes
Yeah.
to normal clothes, which is normally what it is.
But as
I could
long
probably
as,
just blend in as an older crew.
and honestly, they might not even recognize Neris because of her new form.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't have wreaths flying around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Once we get the cloaks, we'll just head out.
All right.
Ender at the helm. I'll be.
Once you guys, you don't really get like a push off or anything. They just kind of pull the boards back over, and then you just slowly start to kind of drift a little bit more out to sea. At this point, Ander, up at the helm, he just kind of walks over to there and like fixes his hat a little bit. He's like, all right, Moldrak, if you could start just, letting them know I got this here. Definitely need to get that sail down. I don't think we need the front and back. We'll just kind of ease our way out of here. We could turn it a little bit port side and we'll be good to go.
Okay. Right. Zarrex, help me with the sail.
He walks over and is like, I don't remember how to do this.
Just.
All right, yeah. Grabs it and pulls it down. Then he's like, no, port. Zarvrax, the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay.
It's been a while.
Grabs it, pulls it, the sail starts to drop down, and then you swing the kind of the jib over to where it's angled in the right direction. Goes over and grabs it and starts to tie it off and puts it in a spot, and then the rope starts to slowly kind of come off, and then he grabs it again and then reties it to where it doesn't come off again.
We'll get it. Good as a new window time.
All right. It gets to a point where the fleet behind you and the backup that you had disappears from sight. You can still kind of hear every now and then an echo of a sound from them, you're assuming, just because of the amount of them that is there. You swear you kind of hear all the sails start to drop as it echoes over the water and the sound travels. But it then gets to a point where all you can hear is the water and all you see is water. The sky is quite clear. The sun beats down well enough before it actually begins to set, and you're now sailing at night. Using the stars and everything, you are able to easily keep course, especially with the help of Connor if needed. Moldrak, being at sea and having your just kind of natural knack with the Outlander ability, like having a good sense of direction and everything, between you, Ander, and Connor, more you and Connor for navigation purposes, it's very difficult for you guys to get lost, unless it's by some sort of crazy magical means. But you're normally not really worried about where you're heading, and you guys have this confidence to you that shows that you know where you are, like at all times, and you're not really uncomfortable. But as the sun goes down and it is now dark, the water itself is pretty chilly, and it's getting cold out.
Two things.
Yes.
I don't know if I understood this right. The cargo area, is it big enough for us to go down there, or okay? I would have wanted to.
You could probably fit like 2 or 3 people in it
As I say,
comfortably.
after we got going, I would have wanted to inspect it, look for anything or anyone that might be down there.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check, or actually investigation.
Investigation. Okay.
Yep.
Natural 19 plus 1, 20.
Okay. Taking a look down here at all of the crates and such, a lot of them are loaded with bullshit. There's like a couple of boxes that just have like broken scrap wood inside of them. It seems like a lot of the shit that was put in here was just to have weight to it so it doesn't go sliding all over the place, and to actually have the appearance that there is some sort of an actual cargo ship out at sea, instead of it just being like this blank deck that has nothing on it. You can see probably 4 or so chests, like actual like sturdy, like what you would imagine to be gold chests, but they're just loaded with like bullshit, like copper, and it's actual like copper currency, but it's all just like very dingy. It's got like a little bit of like oxidization to it, like towards like rusting and starting to look like it's very old, and it's all just kind of tossed within here. And aside with the coins too, there's even like copper bowls and like bent chalices and candelabras that are just thrown all over. It's literally just junk all over the place in all of these boxes. None of it's actually visible on the deck to where you can see that it's junk. Everything seems to be closed up and whatever. But beneath the deck, you don't see anybody lingering around in here. And once you actually get down into it, like the 2 hatches open up and there's 3 steps down, and then the height of it is probably only about 5 or so feet. So when you're down here, you're almost like on all fours, like moving about.
Got it.
Navigating, and then it only goes for about 10 feet when you immediately go down, and then there's only like 3 feet or so actually behind the steps, and it's just this big rectangle.
Got it. I would probably go to the trouble of like making sure everything's still like sealed away and you can't easily see what's inside anything.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then, as a ritual, I would like to cast Water Walking on everyone.
Alright, how long does water walking last? This is just to help you out.
Yep. It is. Oh, this one is only 1 hour. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done it yet then.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I just.
I do want to do water breathing as well. It's just like, as long as I'm on the deck of the ship, it should be good, because it's anybody within 30 feet.
Okay.
And that lasts for 24 hours.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, you're pretty confident that whatever is going to go down is going to happen within that time frame, so if you wanted to cast that, you can.
I would do that one, and then maybe when we were getting closer to like nighttime or something, when I would expect an ambush, maybe try it for water walking then and just see if it helps.
Okay. Alrighty. So, Connor, if you want to, you can make that check.
Oh, yeah.
25.
Got
Okay.
that new spell.
Alright.
Celestial Convergence.
Alright. I thought so.
Once I use it, you'll know what it does.
As you guys are on the deck, Connor is up at the bow and has kind of completely, it doesn't seem that he's completely forgot, but he's just in this mindset. And you can see that he himself has this very, very dull white glow that kind of keeps emanating from him as he's sitting down reading the book. He's kind of kneeling, like on both knees, leaning forward, almost in like a prayer type position, but he's just kind of sitting there with the book, rocked back a little bit to where he's kind of angled. The white glow that kind of keeps pulsing out from him as he does it. You're holding the book, and you feel the book actually lift up from your hands a little bit, and you can feel this energy between you and the book. And then you watch very, very suddenly, if you guys are like paying attention to Connor, you very briefly see it, to where from the sky there's this quick like beam of light that just slams straight down into the book and then goes straight to you, and it causes you to just instantly like lift up, and then you kind of slump down a little tired from it. The book kind of closes in front of you. You turn around and you can see Connor's eyes are just completely glazed over with white, and they're not glowing, they're just glazed over with like white, where it looks like all you can see is the sclera of his eyes. The book, after it closes, he blinks once, his eyes go back to normal, and he reaches down and grabs the book.
I really hope nobody saw that. I don't know, you were doing something weird. You were like floating there with your book, and there was a big beam of light, and it hit the book, and then it hit you. And yeah, I don't know. That's all about all I know.
Were any of us able to see anything out into the darkness when the light hit?
No. It's like this quick, like,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
so not like lightning where you could have seen.
right.
All right. Well, cloak up, people. Cloak up. We don't, we don't want anybody seeing who we are.
Alright. You guys all put your cloaks up and on. Others disguise themselves as best they can with what you have. Quite a bit of time passes, and nothing happens at all. You spend probably like a good 2 hours just floating about. You're getting to a point to where at nighttime you would know, just because of being able to see the stars and everything, that Venoria is not too far kind kind of northeast from where you are. It's probably only like, I'd say, 10 hours or so of sailing, so like a good half day. But you don't see anything, and this is where you're kind of anticipating that you probably would have been ambushed at some point or another. Start looking around at everything. All you can really see is the sky, and it is like littered with stars. Like you can see every single one of them, and they're quite bright. Looking around, the water is quite reflective from the moon. The moon itself is pretty bright tonight, so you feel like you can see and gauge for a good distance. But for those of you that don't have dark vision right now, it's only to the point where you can only see like everything seems like there's just kind of shade of gray out in front of you. Like you can't really see color very well unless it's directly in front of your face. The front of the ship is kind of tapering a little bit, but Ander corrects it and gets it to go back on the course that you believe you need to be. Another hour or so passes of nothing but silence and splashing about. You're getting to a point where it's like getting long enough to where you're like trailing off from being as on guard as you would be, like in that initial like, okay, something's going to happen, and then you're just kind of sitting there kind of ramped up, constantly looking around. And now it's getting to a point where you find yourself just like sitting there, like twiddling your fingers or like reading a book, and then you're like, oh shit, I should probably like look up and around and see if anything's going on. So if I could, I'm going to get everybody to make perception checks. Please, sirs.
I take my hat off and sit on the ground up against one of the middle posts and just start having a drink.
Okay. Azrael doesn't see anything.
28.
Okay.
Natural 20, 27.
Alright.
I'm meditating, so my eyes are closed.
Okay.
It's in the shell.
Okay, got it. On one side of the main mast, the post that's there, Azrael is sitting, one arm kind of kicked up on the knee, the other one on a bottle, and he's just kicking it back every now and then.
Take my hat off and let my hair down for time. Don't really do it very often, but trying to look like a raggedy old man.
Yeah. How long is your hair about right now?
Not really said we gotten a haircut before, so
Yeah.
it's probably like a little past the shoulders a little bit.
Yeah. Azrael's hair is reflective almost in the nighttime with the sun or the moonlight coming off of it. It's this bright kind of white. It almost looks like it illuminates a little bit just because of how white and ghostly it looks. You can see with his hat off better the huge scar that he has going across his face that you normally don't really get a good look at. As he's kicked back there, you can see on the other side of him this just large circular shell that's sitting there with the legs kind of to the side, hands forward, meditating. The two of you look around, kind of over to the left of the boat. You look to the left and then the right, and then as you look back to the left, you can see what looks like some sort of a shape that moved, and it causes you to just focus on it. Connor, you catch it quite quickly. Looking over in that direction, you definitely see a ship. And you're like, okay, this is it. It's happening. Then the first ship that you see two more that are coming, and they're kind of doing a motion like this that are behind it. So you see a total of 3 that just start kind of going around in this sort of a direction.
Looks like it's about time.
Alright, should people get below deck, or I guess we didn't really plan that part.
However you guys want to do it, they're starting to circle us now.
I mean,
Alright.
yes.
Let me grab
Oh god.
the boat.
We got Anders' little ship too if we need it. We got this.
Oh, there it is.
We have a light in there.
This might be just big.
Love heckling.
Pretty big.
No, just get your stuff out of the way and it's not too big.
I guess you guys can set it here for now.
Get your out of the way. Get those fucking dice out of here.
This is probably gonna have to be
adjust it. You want me to switch it to the combat? So then
if you would.
Alright. Does that 4? Hope it's 4. Oh, it did not.
Like the ship I'm using for the cargo ships out here.
It didn't hotkey. There it
It's
is.
actually pretty
Oh, it's
good.
actually, yeah, it's really not bad for where it's at.
Yeah, just split it down a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably better. Yeah, that's perfect. Gathering our ships.
Thank you, Norm, for the badass cargo ship.
Hey.
Okay, put this about here's about. Center it
Up
up.
to you.
Alright. You guys are all here. Just go ahead and start putting yourselves where you want to be. From this direction. If you put Andrew in the middle part there for me, right where the helm would be, and then here's Neris and Zarbrax.
Would my unarmored movement allow me to stand on the water?
No. You can only like run across
you can
liquid surfaces.
Move across it, but as soon as your movement ends, you would fall into it.
He's not big enough yet.
Yeah, it's
He's probably still gonna be bigger.
Just throw that shit randomly onto the deck, please.
Oh, I have another barrel over here too if we want it.
Yeah, just toss it
Just
all
been
in.
chilling. I'll put it up here. Oh. Oh shit.
Oh shit. Okay.
At least it's not a ghost ship. Right? Ghost ship.
Wraith right now is actually small.
Yeah.
I just put him there to represent where he is.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so at this point, the way that the ships are going, you can see that they're starting to circle the ship, and even trying to outrun the ships that are starting to circle around is not possible. It just doesn't seem like it. Like they're way faster than the cargo ship, and the cargo ship has a fuck ton of weight on it right now, so you know that it's just not happening. And you are in a position where it's like, okay, this is what it is, and there's nothing I can do about it, so we're just going to do what we can with it. So, are there any last-minute preparations you would like to take as you guys are inevitably about to get ambushed by 3 pirate ships that you can see?
Yes.
What would you like to do?
Find the wick.
Okay, good call there, Connor. You can see on the backside right here, like where Moldrek is, but to the left of him in this corner, the wick seems to be at the edge there. It's got this very, very thick burlap that's like wrapped around one end of it, and you'd imagine that's just to be able to like take that off so it stays somewhat dry and just light it from there. And that wick goes along the edge, and then it goes actually into the floor. Looks like something was kind of like bored out or something to where it goes beneath. And then Moldrek, when you were below deck, you would have seen like that 3 feet that's behind the steps. It's just loaded with oil barrels. And it's pretty much the middle of the ship where it's at.
What do we do? I don't know. I mean, if we just try to knock some guys out, they're gonna know, and then we're gonna have to fight 3 pirate ships.
They're gonna try and board us anyways, so they're probably
Yeah.
looking for some sort of fight or some sort of massacre, maybe.
Well, what I'm saying is when they, that makes,
Unless,
yeah,
hear me out.
okay.
This might be really bad.
Yeah, we don't have one.
What if we let them capture us?
I don't know. And then what?
They take us back to the island.
Then we don't have the fleet with us?
I shoot off a fireball at the last second.
Of what?
What?
Like, what do you mean?
Before they capture us, I just throw a fireball in the air, then the Navy can follow us.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, if you get
Too
them
late now.
close enough to me, I can calm them.
And that's
enough
not gonna.
for us
That's not
tie
all
them
of
up.
them. Are you?
Well, we just need 3 and we can run.
No, we can't.
Well,
We're not gonna outrun 3 ships. We're gonna have to kill every single one of them, besides 3.
We can still at least calm them enough to be subdued.
how many people can you call?
Right now, 4.
Okay.
How long does that last for?
It lasts a minute, so if we get it so they're calm, we
Well-
can tie them up, subdue them, and then fight our fight.
Yeah, I don't know. Last time we boarded one of these ships, there was what, like 20 guys?
Give or take, yeah. And that was a slaver ship.
So like maybe 60 men?
All we have to do is hold them off long enough for the fleet to get here.
Is there any way we could like swim underneath the water, go onto one of the boats, and one of the boats comes onto this one?
Yes.
At this point, they're probably 5 minutes from you. The one in the front is still coming around, and then you can see the one that was at your back left is probably the closest, and that one is like getting to a point where it's actually starting to turn to the side.
What?
Then the other one that has kind of looped around seems to be closer than the one that's immediately in front of you, but they seem to be making like this triangle type of formation. And the one that is kind of going this way and starting to turn, you can see that it's close enough to where you can see people moving around on it. Like there's commotion and people moving. At a quick glance, at least 10 is what you see. And then you guys are still having your
What is the
conversation.
thinking of going on another ship?
Just ambush another ship while the other ship's ambushing an empty ship.
I don't know if we have enough people to afford us splitting up.
All of us go.
Well,
Yeah, that's true.
if you want, I can try and,
Causing chaos is good.
I mean, if I drop meteors on those ships, they'll catch on fire.
I'm also
A
worried
fireball.
about people getting away. But yes, we could. I think that's actually probably a good idea.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Strange as it is,
How many
a
feet?
ship on fire in the
My
ocean is
best
still
guess.
really hard to put out.
More than 500.
Okay. It's like,
I like your idea. We jump onto their ship while they're investigating ours, and I can convince the captain to step aside, and we can subdue him.
Yes. Yeah.
2 minutes.
Okay. Well, if we're jumping ship, we gotta do it. They're circling us.
Correct. The one that is like at your back left, that's like right here, is now like this. And this is the closest one to you
Is
from
the
here.
sea calm? Is it choppy at all?
It's slightly choppy.
Okay.
It's not like crazy choppy to where like the boat is like doing one of these, but it's just enough of a chop in it to where it's not like glass or anything. It's never glass out on the ocean, but
Water breathing or water walking?
We have water breathing, which is 24 hours.
Okay.
Are we going to one of the other ships, or are we going to jump on this one? It's coming up on us.
less than a minute. It's getting to a point where you can start to see fires being lit on the boat.
Okay.
And then the one to your back right, you can hear people shouting
How far
and
is that
yelling.
one?
That one's probably like 1,000 or so feet, and it's still coming up straight before it's starting to turn. The one that's over to your left, you can hear like a
Close one.
fire,
Jump.
and then there's this. The cannons start to.
Slide off for a second.
You jumping?
Yeah, we're running and jumping.
Who's all jumping?
I'm jumping.
Okay.
Everybody,
I'm
I
fucking
think.
jumping.
A bunch of cannonballs slam into the side of the boat. Wood starts to splinter off, and you just cannonball jump into the water. Some of you dive down into it to where you all start to just push, push, push. Amongst the commotion of all the cannonballs flying against it and water kind of kicking up, you don't see the actual boat like taking on water or anything, but you see it to a point where the sail actually gets clipped and it falls and snaps over. You can hear them still shouting, and then the shouting is this kind of symphony of it where it's surrounding you, or you can hear it to the front. It's a little bit of an echo. It's coming from the side, and then front where you're facing now that you've all dove into the water.
I would guess we're heading towards the closest ship.
Okay,
Yes.
let's switch this then. Go ahead and pull everything off of that. Or you guys have thrown me for a fucking...
How? Yeah, sorry. What is
no, you're
the?
jeez.
Well, I mean, it's either get destroyed by cannonballs or ambush them at their own game.
Go ahead and set that on the center there.
Hell yeah. How
Just take
spread
this away.
apart are the 3 ships?
So the one that you're swimming towards right now is probably at this point about 300 feet from where that is, and it has fired off all of the cannonballs. So it's probably a little further than this.
So we.
Each water square is 10 feet. Just a reminder to everybody, each water square is 10 feet.
Yes.
You guys are going to be at the corner right now. Everybody just kind of tucked back over there, because that's where you're going to be like swimming from initially. The ship right now, after it shot all those cannonballs, you hear a ceasefire! The ship that you just jumped from, you can see the sail has snapped over. The ship looks like it's just floating in position now at this point, and there's like wood still kind of like creaking and falling off of the side. A lot of the shots that were fired were up high. Nothing seemed like it was low to where it would sink the ship or put it in the hull. And you imagine that this is just some sort of a strategy or tactical fighting that they do normally, to where they aim everything up high and just kind of knock everything out, not to sink it. After they do that, you can see on the deck of the ship, if everybody would roll a perception check for me really quick.
From under the water?
Are you guys under the water, or are you
You
on
jump
top?
into the water. We
Okay,
have
I
water
was just saying,
breathing.
I didn't know if you guys were coming back up or not.
I wasn't.
So if you're
but-
underwater, do not make a perception check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you guys are all underwater then. Actually, make it with disadvantage.
Okay. All right. I'll just reroll. Just reroll.
You don't have dark vision, do you? Or you do? You don't.
I did, not this week.
Okay.
27.
Okay.
13. Oh no, I'm sorry, 8.
8. Okay.
Rolled 219, so 26.
26. Okay. So between the two of you, again, looking out, you can see on the, because you're coming from this way, you're kind of like looking up, so it's super hard and like distorted to actually see anything, but as you approach a little better, you can see what you would have, just a quick guess, you hear this like, boom, like this huge clank of metal, but it's kind of muffled to like a, and you watch it fly over. There's this huge like line that you can see in the air that slams into the other ship, and then you start to see it getting like cranked, but then there's this quick like snap where the thing splashes down into the water, and then it gets cranked back into the ship. But then you can hear from the far side where the other ship is another like, and it flies over and smacks into the ship. That one you don't hear splash down into the water, and you can hear from like behind you, it's this very like muffled kind of sound. It's just kind of like just.
I wish I was saying. Shit.
The ship that you can see behind you that you were just on, the cargo ship, looks like it's actually being pulled away from where you are. Not super fast, but at a pace where it's not natural for the ship to just kind of float that way, and it's not the momentum from being shot. You're imagining it's being pulled by some sort of a force in the other direction. You hear another but it's coming from like your right, and then you hear it slam into the boat, and then the boat is actually being like pulled towards the other two ships, and then the one that you're swimming towards is still cranking the chain back, and you actually watch it splash down like 60 feet to your right inside of the water, as it splashes like in the water like an anchor almost, but it's slowly being pulled back. And what you can see very briefly is this head of a like harpoon that's probably about yay big around, and then the back end of the bolt has this like hook inside of it to where when it like hits, it just latches on when it goes back through. And the chain itself, like each chain is about this big, like each link on it, and they're just kind of overlapping back and forth.
Any chance it's moving slow enough we can get over to it and hang on as they pull
So
us closer
the
to
way
ship?
that it's moving, you can see as you're like as it's getting cranked, it's not like coming straight back. With the way the water is, it's doing this like sloshing bit of movement, and it's 60 feet to your right, and it's like a little bit behind you. So you think you could probably start to try to like swim and catch up to where it's gonna be as it's getting pulled back, but you'd have to like keep hauling ass.
Okay.
If you don't have a swim speed though, I'm not 100% sure. I think that you move at half movement. So I think the only one with a swim speed is Zarvarax.
Yeah.
Well,
Could I make some sort of athletics check to swim faster?
You can use your action at dash, so you'd be at like normal speed. But
Right.
you're,
But, like-
I'd say, yeah, because you're super strong. I get it,
Doesn't
but
make
it's
sense.
yeah. You're just at half speed because you're in the water and you don't have a move speed. But are you guys
Like
making
it-
strides like swimming towards it, or are you just like
I'm
floating
swimming,
here?
yeah, I'm
okay,
that
just to at least try
happens-
it. Got it.
Nair's gonna turn around on the Wraith
Okay.
and turn him into Water Wraith.
Okay. Yeah, she does that as an action in an instant. You watch his wings furl out into these manta-like
He's
wings.
also gonna get big
Yep.
and start taking off
Okay.
that way.
Got it.
Oh shit! Can
I'm gonna try and hang on to that.
Okay. Where on Wraith are you hanging on?
When I see him get big, I'm just gonna hold on to like a wing or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yep.
Just something.
Got it. All right. Ander instinctually just grabs onto his tail as well.
Great.
You watch the fin kind of pop out from the back of it, and then the fin go all the way up Wraith's back. He's got like the manta type wings, and he just starts. Zarbrax is just in the water, kicking his legs hard as shit, and then pushing his way through. You can see Moldrak is just like one arm after the other, trying to get over there as fast as he can.
I'm gonna use my staff to catch her leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just fucking Aquaman the shit out of it. Aqua Turtle. Yeah. You just clip onto some part of Wraith as best you can. It's a little difficult, like moving your arm through the water, but as he just gets big, you guys all get close enough. I'd say with the use of Wraith, what are you doing?
I'll try and hitch a temporary ride for the moment.
Okay, yeah. As you start to get close enough, Wraith is able to pretty much move along with everybody there. You being like on the wing, you actually end up throwing your
that's
shoulder.
just kind of like holding on like at the
very,
first, and then
very
probably try
quickly
to
you just
move
kind of
over or
grab it, and
something.
then the first like flap he does, you're like, oh shit, and then you just like swim over to his back as best you can and just grab on somewhere. Not having to hold your breath definitely helps with maneuvering around in here and doing everything you can. It's now at the point where Wraith is just like this fly trap of people and is just like swimming forward as fast as he possibly can. Everyone's just clipped on somewhere. As he starts to swim forward, Moldrak, you're just kind of trailing behind just a bit, just because of Wraith's move speed and Zarbrax is in the water. They're hauling ass. But you're pretty confident nobody else would be able to even swim at the rate you are right now in the water, just because of it being the ocean. But you're keeping up stride enough to where it gets to a point where you guys are now pretty much right next to this chain, and it's not gingerly like tink, 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 going back. It's like it gets to a point where I'm going to actually need Connor and Chelonia and are all to roll dex saves.
Oh. Don't get bonked. You can breathe down here.
Fuck. I mean, it's at least what I need it to be, so I know he's got at least a 5.
If I get in range of like seeing the main ship, I'm gonna have like use a little bit of momentum and have him like fling me underneath to the other side.
Okay.
I got a natural 20.
Natural 20, okay.
9.
9. Okay. I
You want
said
me to roll
and
for
no.
Andrew?
I already rolled for him. I was looking at you for some reason, just because I was like, just naturally went down the line. Okay. After.
Since it's at sea, doesn't Andrew get advantage on his stuff too?
Yeah, he succeeded. He already rolled like what I was looking for in the DC without adding anything. So. Okay. As the large harpoon is just sloshing its way through the water, Trelona, at the tail end of it, like where you're holding Wraith's foot with a staff, you see it, and you actually like swing one hand over to the point where you like do this twist underwater, and you watch the harpoon go right over the front. Like you actually feel it almost graze your nose. You can feel the water splash from it. Ander on the back part, like of the tail, just ducks down and squeezes Wraith's tail that dips underneath the water. As for you, Connor, like up at the top part, the chain actually catches the part of your shoulder and causes you to almost knock and fall off of Wraith. I'm going to need you to make a quick dexterity save again to see if you can grab and catch onto Wraith as it knocks you off.
14?
14. Okay, that's enough to at least grab out towards Wraith, but you take 4 bludgeoning damage from the chain. Just it doesn't even, like, a huge part of it doesn't even hit you. It's just pushing you. And it's so heavy that it just almost knocks you clean off of Wraith's back. The harpoon now at this point, as it turns, you can see there's a good amount of chain that's like right there. So if anybody's grabbing onto it, you're doing it right now. Yep.
I'm gonna try and do one of these things.
Okay. Yeah. You can reach up, and the chain's in a spot like each link where you can like almost. You don't want to put your arm through it. but you can at least grab on with a big enough hand or two hands, and not have any fear of it like actually crushing and collapsing onto your fingers or anything like that.
Close enough to grab it as well?
Yeah, you're getting to the point though where you get to it. You're actually grabbing the harpoon itself because you're a little bit behind. So I'm gonna actually have you make a dexterity save. Actually, I'm gonna have you make a check because it's not flinging at you. You're just trying to reach out and grab it.
I don't know if I'll be able to do that. We'll see. Nope. It's a 3. That's okay, actually.
As the harpoon is swinging through the water, you watch as Chelonia reaches up and just very easily grabs onto it. How are you grabbing onto it, Chelonia?
One-handed, and I also see Moldrak struggling to catch up, and I throw out the staff.
Okay.
For something else, for a little bit more leeway for him to grab onto.
Go ahead and make another dexterity check.
All right. 13?
13. You miss the harpoon, and then after missing that, in the dark water, you watch a staff almost come to where it pokes you in the shoulder, and you can see Chelonia holding onto the chain, reaches over, and you grab that, and he starts to pull you up. You do like a little bit of a pull, and being underwater definitely helps because you know that it would not be possible otherwise as you pull him towards you.
I was going to say, from where he's got me, can I reach up and grab the chain to lessen?
Where it's kind of turned, it's a little difficult, but he gets you up enough further to where you can swim just a little bit and then grab out if you wanted to, or you can just hold on to the staff.
I'm going to try to swim a little bit and grab onto it.
Okay, make another dexterity check. You can make this one with advantage because you're a lot closer.
Oh, okay.
And Chelonia's pulling you towards the
Natural
chain.
20?
Okay, yeah.
I would have liked that for something else.
With ease. Okay, so the two of you on the back now, you still have one hand on it. Are you just holding the staff and then one hand on the chain as you're going up?
I thought I was. Am I on the harpoon or on?
You're on the chain. You're on the 3 links before the actual harpoon itself. That's why you're able to reach out and grab it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cruise until I'm about 5 feet away from the boat, and then let go.
Okay, got it. How are you grabbing on? Do you have anything out right now, or is the hammer and the shield?
No, I didn't have anything. It's all hanging from the sides
right
now. I actually, as well, am probably going to hang on until I get close and then let go.
Okay.
Do not want to go onto the ship. Just get close to the ship.
Yeah, that was the idea here. Just use it as a
Are you
ride.
grabbing the chain as well, Connor? Or are you just staying on Wraith?
I already grabbed the chain.
Oh, you did. I just didn't hear you say it then.
No, you had me roll for it.
Oh, I did. I did. You're right. You're right. I apologize if a lot of goofy shit happens or I say stuff or forget things. I had a long week, so we'll just enjoy this, okay? Just if you have to remind me, please remind me. Okay. Ezrael, you wanted to be flung underneath.
Yeah.
The only difficulty would be communicating the fact that you want to be flung underneath because you're underwater.
We can't talk with my breathing spell.
So I don't know if you want to just
I'm just gonna wait to see if Wraith makes a pivot
Okay.
at some point to turn to get onto the other ship that they're trying to get on and
Okay. Got it.
off.
Alrighty. Can you also do me a favor and grab Zarvrax's character sheet and Anders, and then you guys can divvy those out however you want.
Yeah, I mean, I've played them both. I can blade. Okay, well, I can do Ander if you want to do
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to
Zarvrax.
grab Anders' class thing too, because it's got a lot of shit on it that he doesn't have written on.
I don't want his baby dice.
Also, need a stack of cards.
Okay, and Neris and Wraith, at the spot that it's at, Zarvrax isn't even going for the chain. He's just swimming right at the boat, and he seems to be keeping pretty decent stride. And Wraith, after you guys actually jump up and grab the chain, there's just kind of this synergy and you guys working well together, and for so long that you just had this sense of communication. You looked at the chain and looked at Neris, and then we're fucking bolting for it to be able to get on it. At this point, Neris, Wraith, and Zarvrax have broken off from it and are just swimming towards the boat itself, because where the boat is right now, it doesn't seem like it's actually trying to sail very fast. It's just slowly coasting away, but it was going at such a speed where you guys wouldn't have been able to swim and catch up. The chain kind of pulling you in helped. But with their speed of Wraith and Zarvrax, they can catch up to it and get on it if need be. So, at this point, the chain gets where you feel you're going up. You feel the chain pulling you up, but you can see that you're still a good 30 or so feet from the ship. So you think when you're like 5 feet away, you're actually going to be like almost out of the water. So I don't know if you want to let go before.
I would let go sooner. I want to be
Okay.
underneath.
You would still want to be under the water. Okay, I just want to make sure because it's like very taut as it's being pulled back. So it's not like just dangling straight down. You know, it's the water is pulling it and it's kind of going against it. So there's this bit of resistance that causes it to be
As
straight.
we're getting that close, can I get a glance at anything? Like, are people hanging over the sides?
The water right now, like below the ship, has like smoke around it from the cannonballs that are being shot, and then the water around the ship as well is just kind of like splashy and a little bit rocky, just because the chain's being pulled in. The cannons just got shot; it's flailing all over the place. Like
the
the
other
water's a
ships,
little rough.
are they forming like a triangle right now around the original ship?
Yes, it appears so. And I'll let you know. Remind me when you get out of the water if you want to look back and see what the other ship is like got going on.
Are we close now?
But at this point, you're close enough to where you can just like let go when you're in the water, but close enough to where you can just kind of swim up to the boat. So go ahead and move everybody kind of up now. I'm gonna pull this towards me a little bit just to make
as
it
long as
easier
the ship
to
is
as far as I
huge
can
or
get.
smaller,
Is there any way we can
I
slide
can do
just a touch?
It has a
Thank you.
25% chance of capsizing a ship.
I need to like build something that's like above, like right here.
I wasn't gonna do that. I was gonna try and get closer to another one.
So I'm gonna use my unarmored movement
Or should I just try to
to scale the side of
people
the
are
ship
already starting.
and kind of just hang in there.
Okay, make
What's the
athletics
I'm gonna have
check
a
for
race
me.
get me closer to one of the others.
Oh, it wouldn't be because I couldn't do it with my ability because it says I can scale vertical.
I think you have to be like
You have to start moving. Yeah.
Read
out Okay. what
it says for me.
It says at the 9th level, you gain the ability to move along vertical surfaces and across all liquids on your turn without falling during the move.
Okay. Just make an athletics check for me, just because it's very, very rocky, and you're not like running across it. You're having to like actually pull yourself up.
Okay, so I gain
Should be under your
proficiency,
Yeah, it should be under your strength.
but I'm gonna spend a key point to reroll. Okay, so that's 24.
24. Okay. Yeah, that's well enough. You can get up there and grab that.
So I'm not gonna climb up on the ship. I'm gonna just kind of dangle, just enough to like peek over like the side
to see what's going on.
Like a
Exactly.
spot that would be submerged.
like literally right in the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder. All right, I have an idea.
Now, here's the thing. Do I want to do this one or do I want to just go to the other one?
I think maybe another one. I think maybe me and you and Neris on Wraith under the water. And
Okay.
we go over to. You can drop me off at one, and I can knock it out, and then you can go right to the other one.
All of the shit that's in here.
So at this point, this boat is how far away from the other one?
Like at least 300 or so feet, and it's kind of like splashing away from it.
Okay, so it wouldn't be close enough for the explosion to do any damage.
Yeah, it wouldn't do anything to you guys.
Okay.
So our ship's about 300 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay. Has it gotten close enough to
You
be?
just throw these three guys up at the front there.
Oh, yeah, we haven't looked out yet, so I don't know if the other ships.
This is just what like Chelonia can see right now, getting up high enough.
I point towards Neris while she's like riding on Wraith towards the ship, and just say, "Stop! I have another idea."
Okay,
And then I use message to do that.
I figured as much. She stops.
And then, if possible, maybe start swimming back towards me. And then I also point towards Moldrak, and I say, I think I can take at least one of these out of the water.
Can I respond to message?
No.
I'm gonna look back and
But you can hear it.
We're under the water. Okay.
So if you want to do anything with that, feel free.
I don't think we can see where you're at, Chelonia.
The only thing you can see right now is the
I know
if you're
I know where
underwater.
your model is, but underwater. He said there was like cannon smoke.
Yeah,
so
so
I don't.
Where are you guys at right now? What are you guys doing?
I mean, I think we're under the water near the edge of the ship.
Yeah. I'm calling Neris and Wraith back towards me.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't have to be under the water. Well, I guess if you're not close enough, because they wouldn't
Wraith
be able
like
to see.
turned around to go back towards Connor, so that would have probably been the only moment you'd have to like. Whoop,
Yeah, but I think
go. So you're trying to get to the other side. Okay. Can somebody grab Ezreal's mini for me?
Sure.
I'd say you're probably.
I don't know why I just handed.
No, just set them like right against the edge of it, because you're gonna be like by the time it comes up for you to do something, it's gonna be like the time it takes to get from the other to the other side right there. So what are you guys doing exactly? The four or so of you. Zarvax at this point is like pretty much on the side of the ship, getting ready to pull himself up, and you know that there is no stopping him.
Yeah. I want to hang on to.
Unless you send him a message, but I don't think you did. Like he's just like.
No, he can do his thing. That's
Yeah.
the point. I want to hang on to Wraith and get closer to the other two ships.
Okay.
I want to
He
go
does
to
as
one.
Okay.
Just not this one.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so you guys are going to the other ships?
Yes.
Okay, so Moldrak, Connor,
Neris and
Neris, and Wraith are going to the other ship.
Yes.
All right. Which one? The one that's to the back right or the one that's at the very front? 'Cause
What's
the one
the
that's at the very
distance?
front? The one to the right of you is at least, I'd say, 400 or so feet.
I can get that one. If you want to get me within 300 feet of that, you can take off for the other one, and then I can deal with that one.
Okay.
Wraith has a swim speed of 40, but he can do 80 feet.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So
Until
to
I
get to
cast
the
haste on Wraith
right,
to
then
double his movement speed.
then he would get 160. So you could do it in like a little under 3 turns.
Okay. Well, I don't need to get all the way to the ship.
So at this point, I'm having everyone roll initiative to make all of this a lot easier.
Yeah,
on me.
I was gonna say I just need to get within 300
Because
feet
stuff
of the
is like
ship.
still happening and going on,
Yep.
and like Chelonia's just kind of fucking, and Zarvax at this point is just barreling his way up. So everybody roll initiative for me, and we'll start getting this rolling.
When you learn weird things, you gotta start trying them out.
Yeah.
No, I welcome them.
And in fighting 3 pirate ships, we have to get a little creative.
Dude, I was fully expecting it. I've got another ship over there if we need it.
I guess I don't know. I feel like maybe I should just ask this question beforehand. Are these ships are they a size category larger than huge, or
They're I'd
are
have
they
to
huge?
pull them up on the thing that I have.
Are they large?
They're larger than large.
So they're huge.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're anything
I don't-
beyond
okay.
huge, but they're at least huge,
Okay.
if that's what you're getting at.
It's kind of important for the spell.
Also, they're not like this very, very nice, like, galleon type ship. They're a lot, like, stubbier.
Okay.
And they just have a lot of, like, cannons and shit loaded up on them. Each of them has, like, 2 or 3 that I can grab really quick and represent.
Maybe I
because
can
you guys want to just randomly use a cannon.
Oh, that's a good point. Use the cannons, guys. Get on the ship.
Get on the ship and shoot them at the other ship.
Yeah. Don't worry about hitting us.
They are all on one side. Right here.
Oh, do they? I guess I wouldn't know if they look secured onto the ship deck. Chelonia comes up, his face is like right at the cannon barrel. He's like, woo!
And then it shoots, but you just
right
back
into the
a
shell.
That's hot.
That's
It looks like a good amount of them are, like, you can see the commotion of them. All of them are on one side. The other side just seems irrelevant. There's nothing going on over there.
Are we close enough to see the banner? These are obviously taking Serpent?
Yes,
Okay.
100%, yeah. And you can, well, Chelonia can see this better than anybody.
Yeah.
Make a perception check for me so I can give you a
We're
rundown of what's going
We're
on
still
here.
below deck.
You guys have turned around and went the other way.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
you
correct.
cast haste on Wraith, or is
Yes,
that a
I
no?
did.
Okay, so you guys can just
Soon as, well, yeah.
15. Okay. I'll give you the rundown of what's on the ship, and then I'm going to get everybody's initiative, so please don't forget what your initiative was.
Yep.
If I can find my paper. Bear with me as I
Good luck.
prepare here. I'm going to borrow this for a second.
Yeah, I
John.
can. If it doesn't work, I can retry
Just
it.
to erase some stuff.
Even if not, I can create a
It still stays in effect.
It lasts for 10 minutes.
But
It's a
like, can
concentration.
you move out of that range?
Okay, thank you. Oh my. God bless fucking jet dick.
What are you looking for?
My dry erase marker I had. I don't know how it just disappeared.
Here's one. Brand new.
Thank you. Sweet. I don't want to take a brand new erase marker.
Huh?
I don't want to take
No,
it.
no,
from
no, no.
you.
I have a whole box.
Okay,
of them.
alright. I'll get initiative really quick. And then I'll tell you what.
19.
19. Okay, 25 to 20. Anybody in that bracket?
21.
For Moldrak?
Yeah, 21.
What did you?
20.
Oh, I didn't roll for Ander. Fuck.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ander might.
Alright, well, yeah.
Am I playing for Neris?
Uh,
I guess.
that would be so easy if you could do that.
Okay.
Just because you guys are going to do your own thing there.
Okay. I don't even really have to roll too much, so don't worry about
Just
that.
give me a second because she sent me her sheet.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
So I have to forward it to you.
That's fine. Rangers pick spells, right? Not prepare.
Correct. She has her pick spells on here.
Okay, cool.
It's,
Is this an Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings?
it sure is.
Berserker.
Those would be Shab's
That's cool.
minis.
Do you have, are those, like, Games Workshop ones? That's awesome.
I've had this brown bag here for fucking ever, just loaded with random miniatures. There was a good amount of like I'm pretty sure they're like the Imperial, no, maybe not Imperial, they're the Fantasy Imperials, I think. Like
This
those
one
guys.
looks like the one.
I don't know where the
Boromir
fuck I
shot.
put the other ones.
Alright, I got it.
So can
You
we
got it.
assume that the race of these?
They're all
people-
human.
Oh, I was gonna say some of them are orcs. That'd be fun.
Most of them that you can see are human.
About that.
Yeah, there's no orcs in this world anymore.
Okay,
Oh, but
as far as
so
we
They're extinct.
Yeah.
talk about that another time. Connor, you got a 20.
One of
Yeah.
many races we've extinct.
Oh my god.
You guys committed
Chelonia,
More
you
than
got Chelonia, you got a 19.
19, yes.
Did anybody get 19 or?
Oh, Ander got a 7.
They picked the fight with us.
Okay, 20 to 15.
And you killed all of them?
20 to 15. What about Neris?
Oh, what did Neris get for him?
I just got her thing.
Wraith just acts right after she acts.
Okay, well, 7.
7, okay. Zarbrax. Anybody roll for Zarbrax? You got Zarbrax?
14,
Okay.
13.
So Zar's got a 14.
Other way around.
You got a 14. Andrew got a 13?
No, Ander got a 7.
Fuck, why am I so confused right now? Let me roll for the Pirates.
I rolled a 2. He's got a +5. So.
Yep, me too.
Okay, that's not that great. Hold this up here. Okay. Sue.
He's gonna be moving.
That's okay.
So that would put Azrael.
He's got 40.
Yeah.
Then
Double
Zar.
to 80. So 160.
Okay.
So you can get
Wait.
me.
Neris got what? 7?
Yes.
And Andrew got 7, so Andrew then Neris.
Can you? Can you do that? Can
You can
dash?
take your action to
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You might probably do one dash action.
Let's see what haste says.
So we can assume the
4, 5,
other
6,
two.
7, 8,
Oh,
9,
sorry.
10. No, you're good.
The other two ships that have sunk the harpoons into that is they're closer than we are to the ship.
To the cargo ship?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like
You
if
can also just blow up the once it gets
If
close
this
enough to the
was
other ships, you
our
can blow
ship,
up the car.
the ship were on, like
Which
they'd be within damage range from the
yeah,
cannon.
that's
from
true.
The,
That's
okay.
kind of a 2 for 1. We just have to hope these guys get control of this ship. I'm gonna head back there as soon as I can. But
Yes.
So just so you guys know, are we allowed to talk strategy? Like,
I don't.
I
That's.
don't wanna
I don't know if
cheat.
we can-
Depends on what you're talking.
I just
If you're
wanted
gonna-
to talk about what I was gonna do when I got onto the boat.
Yeah, you'd be metagaming, so just
Yeah. I can
let
do
them. You're good. But if you like are able to yell out to them
it. Yeah.
at any time, then that's totally fine.
Don't yell out yet. Still got the element of surprise.
Yeah. No.
I mean, even if the wave doesn't work,
All right.
we can do
Before we start doing this, I'm going to preface the fact that there's a lot of shit going on.
There
for
is.
sure.
Bear with me.
A
Don't
lot
get
of shit
frustrated
going
and
on.
just try to have fun with it,
You're
okay?
good. You're good.
All right.
It's a ship.
My turn gets skipped. I'm leaving.
Covered in shit.
Okay. So, with your perception check, once you pull yourself up to the side there, looking around immediately when you look back, you can see this quick shimmer of like white underwater that is Wraith turning around and going towards the other ships.
Okay.
The only person that you see right now is Zarvarax, and he's climbing up the side with his axe. Like he's like got one hand almost, and is just like trying. He's just ready to go up there. Other than that, you think it's just you and Zarvarax here going after these people.
Can I see the captain?
So immediately looking at everybody, doesn't really look like they really seem to have some form of a captain that you can tell by just looking at them, if that makes sense.
Okay.
What you can see is this man here by the helm of the ship has just now let go and is walking over this way. All of these people are by the cannons and they're just kind of like loading them up and into it. This individual here is just on a crank and he's just like pulling it. There's this huge mechanism in the middle here that has the harpoon like stationed to that. So this is where you guys, the chain is like just now coming up onto there, and we're going to start combat. So, Moldrak,
Yes.
you are up.
Okay. I am going to hold my action
Okay.
until I am about 300 feet away from the closest, from the next closest boat, other than this one.
Okay. Got it.
So I'm gonna wait for Wraith to carry me.
Connor, you're up.
Give or take. You said it once already, but just give me it again.
Okay.
How far?
So, you've got the ships laid out like this. This is the one that that's right here.
Alright.
You're about 300 feet from here,
Uh-huh.
and then there's about 200 feet between this ship and this ship, and then 250 from this one and this one.
But
And
what
these
one-
ones are slow, like each.
The middle is us.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
the cargo ship.
us.
Yes.
Okay.
You're 300 feet from there right now where you stand. Then this ship to the far side that's pulling into it is 200 feet, and like it's each round that it's like getting like at least 50 or so feet closer
Okay.
that you can tell.
Okay.
So it's almost like give
Okay.
or take, 10 feet a second.
Then let's just say, because I'm not going to really be doing much, let's just say this round is when I cast Haste on Wraith.
Okay. Works for me. I'm going to actually draw that diagram on the back here so I don't
Hey.
end up divulging where you guys are,
That's fair.
or the health of the fucking people.
We already know.
An alignment to help me identify like who the captain would be.
No. It's just going to tell you if they're good.
They're all
bad,
bad.
Alignment's more of like a moral,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
stat.
However
I just
they
didn't know how like.
It's usually kind of
Most of them
Yeah,
are
no,
going to
you're-
probably be like chaotic.
Okay.
some sort
Or
of
just.
evil.
Yeah.
After Connor, Chelonia, you're up now to do whatever you wish. You can see the people that are all on the edge are loading up the cannons, and that guy to the far side's cranking. This guy here is just now let go of the helm and is walking like over in this direction.
So I'm
Thinking
going to
about
actually kind of just keep
Or he's cranking
hanging
it in.
Okay?
and just move a little bit further away from that cannon.
Okay.
So I
So
got
it's-
1, 2. I'm
I say
assuming
you're
my
gonna.
move speed
It's
is
half
yeah.
because you're climbing technically.
so
So you can get
about
25 feet, right?
Yeah, so probably about right here.
Okay.
So
If
I'm
you can
just-
hang on, just be careful you don't snap
yeah,
a
I don't
hand
wanna
off or
break
something.
it.
Even if you want to just set them on the inside, we'll know, or on the edge, whatever you want to do, that you're just hanging there.
We got the flying thing.
Oh, fuck, I do. Hey!
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Uses.
Yeah. I think it also has like a tiny top you can put on that'll just be like one character. You can see
I think you could probably just set that there and fucking look at that shit.
already getting your money's worth.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied right now. This combat could end and I would be cool with that because that just made my day. Alright.
And then
What do you do?
I don't think I'm gonna do anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of
Got it. Azrael, my friend, you're up. You've just now got to the other side where you can see, like, sky, essentially, to where it's not just like a dark shadow above you, where the boat would be. You've now crested to the other side of the boat.
I see if there's actually like is a ladder or something hanging.
There
off the
sure
side.
is, right where the fucking thing is.
Alright. So do I have movement for this turn? Or
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna ditch the burlap coat thing I had. on.
Right. Okay, so you would have moved 10 feet.
Attempt to.
Can you send me that new bow too that she got?
She's got the card over here. I'll grab it. Go ahead. What are you doing, Ezra?
Assuming it's kind of loud right now,
Very, very loud.
so I'm not gonna worry about water dripping
Because you can
giving
just
me
hear
away.
this, like cranking of the.
Damn, blast that guy.
Cool. Thanks.
I'm gonna be. I don't know how much speed I have to climb up or not, but
It's a ladder, so it's just normal type movement. So you'd still have. You would have spent 10 feet, so you would still have 20 feet of movement.
all right. So how tall is that then?
The side of the ship is probably like a good, I'd say, 10 or 15.
Okay. Well, I'll get on to the ledge and see what's going on.
Okay.
Like up to the top.
Once you get up there, you see the same thing that Chelonia did. That guy there, that's cranking the harpoon back. These guys are like loading up the cannons. You can see a couple of them are just kind of like standing there, like shouting out towards the boat. That's all you got. You can definitely see, also, I forgot to mention this to you, Chelonia, the flag that is hanging from this is this kind of jet black color, and then in the center of it there is a bright kind of white sigil of a snake curling around a dagger with a coin at the bottom of it. So you would recognize the symbol to be the Taken Serpent, so you're pretty confident.
How are these cannons loaded and fired?
They are loaded from like a hopper at the top. They're not like repeater type, but there's just like this barrel that they set onto it to just like drop one into it, and then they pull the small hopper off to the side, and then once it's sitting in the bottom part, you can see that there's like a little bit of a reservoir at the back where they just light it, and there's just a bunch of gas that combusts and fires the cannon forward.
Does it look like that reservoir is kind of like thin at the back?
No, it's like a thick steel, you'd imagine, just for purposes of it not like exploding out the back,
Yeah.
And they all seem to be on wheels as well. So like when they shoot it, like you can actually see the guys that are up there have just now rolled the cannon back up to the front, and you can see that there's like one that seems to be like on its side towards the back there that looks like the bottom part of it just like snapped off because it just shot and flung off the thing.
Okay. So I guess as a bonus action, I'm gonna use the right
Okay,
with my gun.
got it.
Take 3 damage. And, I guess I'll try and shoot this guy that is unaware that's close to me.
All right, go ahead and take your shot. Damn, dude. Poked myself with the fucking. God damn it. Poked the shit out of myself with the dry erase marker. I think that'll come out.
That's a 25.
25 to hit? That definitely hits.
10. So it's plus 11 flat, so 15, 20 damage.
20 damage. Okay.
Second shot.
We're like
16.
we're like
16 hits.
this one here, and then there's this one. I figure we just go here, and then you'll be within the range for
Yeah.
and then I just go to here.
Yeah, that's a good call.
15 damage.
15 damage.
And if I have any movement, I'm gonna try to double tap those shots, like slide back down.
I go.
Okay. You just splashing into the water or just down the ladder?
Does that have like
Yeah.
solid sides on
Yeah,
the
I
side of the ladder, or is it just
No,
like,
it's more like boards that are just like jutted out from it.
I'll just climb down as quick as I
Okay,
can?
got it. Amongst the kind of like, you just hear very quickly, look over and see this like blood splash over to the side. You shoot him in the back twice and he almost falls over. You can see blood heavily dripping from his back shoulder. Turns around.
Duck.
The guys on the deck seem to have taken notice to the shots, and then you can start hearing him screaming out, "What the hell was that? Did somebody shoot me? Someone look for it!" And then Is there anything else you're doing?
That's all my movement and actions.
All right, Zarvrax is up. He's like
what's
on the
side
other
of
side.
the other? Do I get to pick where?
He's probably
He's
going
climbing
towards
up
the
this
ladder.
ladder.
Yeah, he was like against that.
Yeah, he's just gonna fly up it.
All right,
Get right in.
okie dokie.
He's gonna rage.
Got it. Do you want him like on just one guy or just right over the cannon, like interposing himself?
If he has enough movement, or whatever, he's
Yeah,
gonna
he does.
He's gonna get in there.
Yep, and put him right there.
Oh, I got you.
Then he slips back. He just gets up and then just slips on water and splashes back into it.
Watch the battle.
Someone put a banana peel on the deck.
Yeah, right.
Classic pirates.
Alright, so I guess the first attack.
Don't want to get scurvy.
Let's go against that guy.
Okay.
Reckless. 17.
He gets 3 d20s. Oh, you did wrong.
27.
Hits.
Barely.
It's just the d12 and then flat 9.
Yeah, D12 and then add 4, a D4 because of the sheath that he has.
Oh,
13 damage.
Does he do that?
He doesn't remember.
It's just him. I don't ever see him do that.
Okay.
Second attack. Close. 39 or 29.
Okay.
Damn, I can't even roll that.
11, 20 damage.
Okay.
And then I'll throw the zappy at him too, I guess. Why not?
what's that?
It's a fail. Becomes D8s. I think he wrote it on there.
So 9 lightning.
9. Okay. Zarvrax just like almost just rockets out of the water and like splashes upward, pulling himself up. He just unsheathes the axe and then slams it up into the shoulder, kicks the guy down and then reaches it up again and slams it down into his stomach. Blood is like pushing its way out from the wound. The guy's barely hanging on but still alive. The other guy like pulls the pistol up and like aims it up towards Zarvrax. We're being boarded!
You gotta keep 3 guys alive, remember that.
All right.
Remember that. I guess
After Zarvrax, it's the pirates.
Uh-oh.
After that, pirate shouts out,
Sure.
being the only person that they see. This guy's gonna turn.
Good thing he's raging.
This guy's gonna stay there. That guy's still cranking. If you would pull these 2 guys over to the edge for me.
Cranking one out.
Right. Hold on, guys. I'll just set him there, and then the guy next to him. Yeah,
This
like
is
on the steps. Just like kind of above the railing is where they're gonna be sitting. Yeah. And then this guy is gonna just like run back here. These 2 in combat. The guy that pulled the pistol out, because
Guns.
he's gonna shoot at disadvantage in the melee
Only
range
Andrew.
there.
Roll.
Only Andrew.
Oh,
and
yeah, you're right.
Zarvrax
Fuck.
are,
I'm just gonna put
Andrew
those away and just
Israel
grab another
don't have
dice.
Guns.
Not gonna hit.
This is where everyone's at.
Okay, so the first guy, as he takes the shot, he just like almost shakes and misses from watching his buddy just get an axe buried into his stomach. The guy on the ground's gonna take his pistol up and shoot. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's definitely disadvantage because he's doing ranged. He's laying down, so it just kind of cancels that out. Also gonna miss. Takes a shot and it just kind of rings out. Those 2 guys that are immediately right there, each going to take their 1 shot. So that's a 20.
Yep.
Natural?
No. And then that one's a 17.
Yep.
Yep and yep. Okay. So where's my... There it is. 14 from the first one, half to 7. And 14 from the second one, half to 7. That's a 14. Fucking max damage 2 times in a row, man. Those guys both shot. The guys that are up at the top, they're at advantage. So that's a 23 and a natural 20.
Anyone they don't want to.
So the 23 is 9, half to 4. And then the natural 20 is straight damage for a grand total of 10. So 14 from those. These three up here are going to take their shots. Or actually, that guy is going to take his one shot.
They shot it full.
17.
Yep.
So 13 points of piercing damage, halved to 6. And then this guy's going to walk up and from under the coat pulls forward 2 pistols that he aims out and shoots. First one, natural 20. And the second one, 18. The natural 20 is 9 points of damage. And the other one is 14, half to 7. So 16 total from that. Chelonia, as you're sitting there kind of hanging, you hear like this scream and then somebody yell, "Somebody's on board!" And then they start to just scatter and kind of, there's this big commotion before you hear this. Alright, and then Ander is up after that.
Under.
Okay. Can he like get to like the surface of the water and then just like throw cards up onto the probably to like this closest guy here?
Okay, I'd say,
Pretty good.
where's he sitting?
He's right here.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
He'd
where he's
probably
at.
have to be back just a little
Might
bit.
not know where anyone
Wait,
went.
yeah,
Yeah, because he's got to be able to see him, so he's got to swim back a little bit.
he doesn't have to be able to see.
Well, he's got to know where they are.
No.
Yeah, he's got to know where they are first. Like,
Can
once he knows where they are, then he can, like,
Can he hop on somebody's shoulders?
they're all...
There's nobody.
See ya.
Yeah, he'll back up a little bit.
Okay, but he gets to a point where he can at least see that guy,
Yeah.
this guy here, and then the 2 up there.
What? Move him back?
Yeah, like,
He went like 10 feet.
it's
One
probably an
square.
entire movement is all he can really do.
Yeah, because each square is 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna make some attack. Do I draw the cards first?
He does.
Yeah, you can roll on the table.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll on the table.
It's a D8.
1, I don't think that's a good one. Next attack is a disadvantage.
It's good. He never misses.
Well, it's a jack, so that's
That's not good.
diamonds. You and any target with 10 feet take 2d10 fire damage.
Good thing you're in the water.
Well, that attack is just wasted then.
Yeah, it just explodes in a burst of fire, so go ahead and deal the damage.
He takes 13 points of
Fucking hell.
damage. What
Yeah,
is
he
it?
lifts the card up and it just like burns up his arm. You watch him just dump it right into the water.
That'll be his problem for next week. Alright, next one. Another card. Oh,
Stacking the deck
Stacked
over
it.
here.
yeah, you got me. Oh, I read the wrong card actually. Hang on. Wait, no, that was the right card. Alright.
You have the jet black ones that you can't fucking read.
Yeah.
Do you want
On
the
a,
other ones?
on a hit, a target takes card damage. Any target within 10 feet takes half that damage. So,
Okay.
Zarvax is going to take damage, but whatever. Does he crit on a 19?
Yeah, he does.
Crit.
Nice. So you have to double that damage that you roll on the extra 2.
Okay. It's a D8.
D10, I think.
Is it a D10? I thought it
For
was
his card?
I thought it was still a D8.
Check the table. It's on his...
Oh no, it says D10.
I think we were talking about Chelonia's last week, that we thought his was, but it's actually a D8.
Anders is a D10.
Yeah.
At level 13, he gets it. So, and then
Plus fire damage.
yeah. I think that's a D6.
D6.
Let me get
D8 fire. Right here.
no. And then it's a D4 for the crit. And then what was the King of Hearts? Takes card damage. Oh, okay, so that's
Yeah.
normal damage, and then
Yeah. Go ahead and just roll that first for the just card itself, right? And then add the extra shit later.
okay, the card damage was 9, double to 18. So anybody surrounding this guy within 10 feet takes 9 damage.
Is that with the added dex?
What do you mean?
The dex. Did you add his dex?
Oh, I
with
did
it?
not. No, sorry. That would make it plus 7. So 18 plus 7, 25.
Okay. So Zarvax takes 25.
Well, he would take.
No, half. So it would be quarter.
What kind of damage is it?
It's
Piercing.
the card damage, so piercing.
So he would take a quarter of 25.
Yeah, because anybody in 10 feet takes half.
So 6.
So it would be quartered for him.
Right.
It would be half for
6
the
damage.
other guy. The total
Yes.
damage for this guy, though, 25 plus 4.
The guy that you threw the card at?
Yeah, plus 4 more fire.
He's definitely dead.
Okay.
You don't have to add it up. What did you do to the... That was 25, right?
Half,
It was half?
so 12.
Okay. 12. Okay.
Or, yeah, 13 for them, I guess, if we're rounding up for enemies.
Okay.
And then he has his bonus action attack?
Yes.
Oh, I don't... Can he see anyone else? I thought you said he could see...
You can see those
further
guys.
back?
Yeah, so this guy's dead.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Oh, damn. I should have let Zarvax get it.
It's okay.
He was so close. He was so close. Yeah, he can see that guy and then the two up on the rail.
With the close guy or the far guy?
This guy.
This guy and then the two up on the rail.
This is gonna go for the ones up on the rail.
Okay.
Alright.
Which one are you doing?
The closer one here
Okay, got
towards
it.
me.
Go ahead and throw.
Oh, I should have... damn, it was
Oh, that was close.
one off of a... Well, I've somehow rolled another jack.
Uh-oh.
So,
Here's one until your next turn.
immediately after drawing this card, suffer a die of damage equal to your card. Do you still get to throw the card there?
Yes.
Okay.
You're
So,
just pretty much taking the same
just-
damage that you're dealing.
okay. Oh, do I roll those separate then, or no?
What does it say on the thing?
Oh, it says immediately after drawing, suffer a die of damage equal to your card damage.
Yeah. So you do it after. So roll the attack against him and then the damage against Andrew. Roll the hit, obviously.
Oh, the
you
roll
did.
to hit was 18 plus 10, plus 14,
Oh,
32.
Okay, yeah.
Not great damage. 8 points of piercing and 5 fire for a total of 13. And then Ander takes 1 point of piercing.
Okay.
And he's gonna duck
Sink
down
underneath.
into the water.
Okay.
That's okay. He doesn't. It's fine. That's Anders' turn. God, I'm getting the jacks out of the way, I guess.
Okay, so the first card that you throw does a slight arc before it slams up into like the lower part of the neck, and this blood just like squirts out because the guy laying down kind of just has like his arm hanging off the side, and he's trying to like help himself up, and that's what Anders sees, so he just chucks the card up in that direction, and it just slams right down into it, and the guy dies on the ground. The card bursts outward into this like quick excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Thank you. Wow. As it slams and hits into the guy's neck, it bursts up with a bunch of smaller, like, mini cards that slam outward towards Zarvax and the other pirate there. Then he takes the other card and chucks that upward towards the guy that's on the balcony and just kind of slams him up in the shoulder as he gets knocked back a bit. After Anders' turn, it is Neris and Wraith.
Alright, let's do this. So, make this a little easier on you.
Okay.
I drew a diagram.
Okay, thank
Much
you.
like your own.
Thank you.
Alright, so, we got ours.
Yes,
This is where everyone is.
correct.
And we're going this way. So, Wraith has 80 movement speed if you dash.
Correct. But you have haste on him, so it's 160.
160.
Right.
That's if you dash.
Correct.
Once. But you can dash twice because he gets an extra action.
Okay. The only thing with dashing 2 times is that you're only like I think we've done this before. You're only physically capable of going so fast. So I don't think double dashing is going to be a thing.
What about we just add his movement one more time instead of doubling it again?
I'd
So
say
just
because
40
he's
more movement.
I'd say because he's in the water, I will allow it.
Okay.
Okay, so 200 feet he can move.
Okay. He's going towards the ship.
Okay, the one that's the cargo ship, right?
Yeah, ours.
Okay, got it.
Which then puts him how far from these ships?
Once he's within 100 feet of the one cargo ship.
Connor wants to be within 60 of this ship over here.
Okay, with this turn, you wouldn't be able to get that close.
Right.
But you'd be within. So if you move 200 from here, you're within 100 there. Pretty much, it's like 250 feet from the ship on the far side.
Okay, so we'll go up to this one, and then so it'll be about 200 from there. How far are we from this ship to the other one?
That one's like 300.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
Okay. Remember where you are and what you're doing, and
Yep.
keep it.
Yep.
Okay. Your turn. Did you want to be within 100 feet of the cargo ship?
I just
the other
need
one?
to be within 300 feet of the far ship, the one to the right.
The one on the top. This one.
Oh yeah.
This one.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay, you are within 300 feet of that
Okay.
ship.
Once I'm kind of within range, I'm going to close my eyes and squeeze my fist under the water and cast Control Water.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Flood, which I'll read the whole thing. You cause the water level of all standing water in the area to rise by as much as 20 feet. If the area includes a shore, the flooding water spills over onto dry land. If you choose an area in a large body of water, you instead create a 20-foot tall wave that travels from one side of the area, which is a 100-foot cube on any side. You create a 20-foot tall wave that travels from one side of the area to the other and then crashes down. Any huge or smaller vehicles in the wave's path are carried with it to the other side. Any huge or smaller vehicles struck by the wave have a 25% chance of capsizing.
Okay.
The water level remains elevated until the spell ends or you choose a different effect. If the effect produced a wave, the wave repeats on the start of your next turn while the flood effect lasts.
Okay. Go ahead and fucking A, dude.
Do you want to do like a
like a D100.
Okay.
And then
75 and up or 25 and lower?
it'd be 25 and lower. We'll do.
Okay. Fuck, 96.
96.
That's okay. I'll have another shot at it. It like pushes it to the edge.
You are in the water, correct?
I am. But the range on it is 300 feet. So
Right.
I make the cube at like the maximum.
Yeah, I'm just like visually. I don't know if you're like on Wraith or if you just like.
I would have let
and-
go.
Okay, that's.
Yeah,
what
I let go and kind of float up to the top, and then just like closing my eyes, I push forward, and the water just begins to like snake and wind, and eventually it turns into like a large wave and begins pushing across.
Okay. You watch as it slams and hits into the side of it. It gets up on the side enough to where water kind of splashes over. You can see a couple of people on the deck are moving around quickly. Some of them have to grab onto the rail to like pull themselves back up. The cannons are shifting around a little bit. And you actually watch one like splash into the water. After that happens, so you just remain concentration on it pretty much and just keep
Yeah,
doing
it's
it?
a concentration up to 10 minutes. So.
But
Okay.
you're not going to get a second chance if it pushes it to the edge of...
Does it move the ship
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It moves it to the edge.
So it would...
of the range?
Yeah.
I believe so.
So you wouldn't get a second chance to do it again.
Yeah, I was reading it.
Well, I could. You make the wave from any of the directions, I believe.
in 100. Let me read it really quick.
Because
the
the
same way
if
every
you see
time.
water
Yeah,
inside
you
an
just-
area.
the wave
So you can,
repeats.
like, pull it, push
So it's
it.
like a 100-foot cube that you have where you can just
100
move
foot
shit
on
around.
each side, yes.
Gotcha.
Okay,
So from
I
where
see.
it's at, you slam it this way, but you still have 100 feet of control, so it's just all around it. Okay, gotcha.
Think of it as like
Make sure you
just the
repeat the same
board.
thing.
Right.
You can throw it either way.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, I can't move it, but
I thought you were like pushing it out of that range. And I was like, oh no.
Okay. The ship just kind of rocks and flies over to the side. You can see they're built pretty well, so it's a little difficult to do it, but
That's okay.
you're just kind of focusing on it, and you keep doing so. All right. That'll bring us to the start of the next round, which you'll just start it off.
oh, going again.
Okay, go ahead and roll D100 again.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to use a different one. I'll try a different one. Why not? Fuck, 81.
All right.
I'm guessing that takes my action.
It does. It says as an action you can repeat the same
Yeah.
effect.
I'm gonna move a little bit closer underneath the water.
Okay.
Just what my movement's
So you do
40,
yeah,
so
you do like 20
20.
feet. Yeah. Okay. So you're just kind of like in the water, like you're doing like 2 strokes, and then you just like take your hands and move them a little bit, and then do it again, and then you just.
It just kind of looks like it's like being battered at this point, like back and
you're
forth.
Just trying to knock it around, yeah. Okay. After that, Connor, you are up.
Okay. Holding my action till I'm within 60 feet of the ship. That's to the right.
Okay, got it. Chelonia, you are up. Azrael, you're on deck.
So, was I able to discern like any sort of order to how they started attacking, or there's just more of like a scramble?
It just seemed like a scramble of people like running around and doing shit.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hop over the rail then.
Okay,
And I'm gonna go over to this this lovely gentleman here.
got it.
And I am going to attack.
All right, go for it. I'm gonna say your first attack's at advantage because he doesn't see you coming with all the commotion and such. You just hitting him with the staff. How you hitting him when you walk up to him?
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of come behind him and just kind of come down on the back of his head.
Got
I'm
it.
gonna use Fury of Blows as well. I don't know where. Oh, there it is. So that's for the first attack. So that is.
If you need any, feel free to take some.
Thank you. 23,
23 definitely hits.
and then the
Go ahead and roll damage for the first one.
damage.
D8 plus your strength.
So that is 5,
5. Okay. So we get our last guy here.
and then I'm gonna with that attack. Before Fury of Blows, I get an extra attack.
Yep.
Not at advantage anymore, right?
Correct.
Yikes. So that is. Okay, so that's 10.
10 misses. The first one that you hit with the staff, it kind of bonks him to the point where he like turns around, and then you go to swing forward. He just like instinctually backs up. And then you can do flurry or fury blows, whatever it is. Flurry.
So for this, you just color in with like a drag race.
That makes sense.
Alright, so that is a 16.
16 hits.
And then I'll do both of them. Yikes, a 7. So that.
Okay, so the first one hits. So go ahead and roll damage for that.
So that would be 6.
Okay. All right. So instinctually, as you walk up, you smack him in the back of the like shoulder area, and he jolts forward a little bit before he like spins around to see what's there. You swing out with your fist to like kind of poke outward, but he just like ducks back, and then you just chop up towards his neck, and you can see this like wave of energy kind of dissipate from you like hitting into a pressure point. And it causes his arm to kind of go slack for a second before he picks up the sword that he has off of his side and goes to slash it towards you. But instead of like hitting him, you just redirect his energy and push him over to the side to where he just kind of stumbles and then turns towards you with the sword. You can see that he has this like jacked up teeth. His beard is like very, very sparse and kind of scraggly. The hair is very messy. He has like a bandana across the top of it. His hair is a little dirty, or his clothing's a little dirtied, but it's still pretty like well-dressed clothing. Like he stole it from somebody who could be very wealthy. And you can see that's it's kind of a theme amongst everybody. But that is your turn, correct?
I think I have a bonus action.
Use Flurry of Blows for the bonus action.
Is it a?
Yes.
Yes.
And then you spend a key to do it.
Yeah.
So you like
Keep
attack,
pointing bonus
and then Fury of Blows.
Yep. And then
Yeah, but it does say as a bonus. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Then I'm doing.
okay. After that, Azrael, you are up, but give me a second. I will be right back.
I have to pee so bad.
I will return.
We're running the game now, guys. He's gone. How much should Zarbrax take? Did he take a lot of damage?
He's down like 50.
Oh, he's down 50?
Yeah.
God, from all those people, I guess it's not that bad.
Well, now it'll disperse a little bit. I'm gonna grab drinks. Does anybody want anything?
Unless there's
I'm
like
good.
water in the fridge, then
I'm good.
this stuff over. Will you get there this round?
It's about 250 away if he lets me go 200.
Yeah, then you're within the range. Well, hopefully I can roll this 25.
I mean, I can go upstairs and get you water.
No, it's cool. Wants to join the game. Roll up a character. Okie dokie.
Are we fucking peeking though?
I didn't keep in this kitchen.
Alright, Israel, what are you doing?
Climbing back up.
Okay.
Shoot the same guy again.
Alright.
Okay. 23.
23 hits.
26.
Damage?
Yes.
Fucking hell. You take the gun up as you pull yourself up, pull it from your side, and just quickly look over. At this point, you can see him like still cranking the harpoon back. Gets it to a point where it's finally there and done, or about to be, and then he goes to grab his pistol, like still holding on to the handle that's there. He goes to grab his pistol, and you just and shoot. Blood splatters against the mechanism, and you hear a bit of like a ding as the bullet that went straight through deflects off of it, and he lets go, and then the crank starts to go back in the other direction.
Okay, as a reaction, as the bullet flies into his, what do you say, his chest?
It went
Shoulder?
through like the
His
top
head?
part of his head, and then hit against the machine that's right there, and like ding.
So a little trail of black energy is going to follow it through his head, and then he's going to look like he's dead for a second, but then his eyes are going to perk up. I'm going to use Curse of the Fallen Puppet.
Oh fuck, that's so cool.
I'm going to amplify it so I can move. Okay, so I get to make an attack with him, and I get to move him.
Okay. I didn't even know you could do that.
It's on you. It's his guy now.
Move him here,
Okay.
and then he's going to take a pistol shot at the guy in Zaxria. He gets a bonus to my intelligence on the hit, so an extra +4.
It's a natural 20.
Oh, that's so badass. There's so much sword fighting going on this ship.
Alright. The bullet that flies through the black energy you see kind of consolidate around it. Zarbrax would see it as he just like walks over to be in front of Azrael, goes to his side where he was already pulling the pistol, reaches it forward, and then shoots. The bullet goes clean into the base of the skull, and the guy just crumples on the ground where he's standing.
Such a cool thing. It was
And the rest of my move, I'm going to leap up, and then with the one arm, as his body starts to collapse, I'm going to catch his body. So I'm holding onto his body, and I'm going to put the pistol around his head and take a shot at this guy.
Okay.
My
for
second
it.
shot.
taking over ships is your thing.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So badass.
27.
It's the pirates, like, for me. That hits for sure.
That's 20 damage.
I'm sorry.
20?
Just
You're
say
good.
Good night, Kevin.
Good night, Kevin.
Good night, Kevin.
Like, what the hell is this room?
What'd you get?
20 damage.
20 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a plus 11 right now.
That guy?
Yeah.
Alright, I love you.
Well, I'll be up, but
Yeah.
good night.
27.
Look at her.
20.
One day, kiddo. One day.
No.
So, 18. Okay. Was that the last thing you got?
Yeah.
Right?
Second
Okay.
attack from the action.
So Azrael, in this just perfect fashion, takes up, climbs back up, takes a shot. As he's climbing himself up, just slowly gets to a point where he's waiting. The other pirate that he just took control over takes a shot to the base of the skull, the one directly across from him, who crumples to the ground with a perfect shot. Azrael comes up as the body just crumples and falls and picks it up. It's a little heavy, but you're able to do it, and you kind of balance the pistol and then take another shot to the guy to the far side. Hits in the shoulder, blood splatters backwards. Well done.
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
Okay. So,
Zarvax.
Zarvax's turn.
And he's just gonna be a little confused and yell and scream and run at the guy.
Yeah.
He's 5, right?
Yeah.
Got 40. He's gonna lay into that guy.
All right.
I'm gonna do normal attack.
Okay.
17.
Hits.
12d4. 15. 24. Yeah.
24 damage.
Yeah. So that's plus 9 in parentheses. So.
Probably with the rage damage.
Oh, yeah. The second attack. 28. 6 and 9 is 15 damage. Zippy zaps at him.
11.
Probably fails.
Or actually 12.
So that's 5. Zippy zap damage.
It's just something with Zarvax, man. He just can't.
Just gets him down to the
Just gets him to 1 hit point every time.
One Anders
So
sees.
sad.
One Anders sees.
Zarvax having the axe already up towards the individual that just crumpled in front of him, he actually finishes the swing and slams it down into the guy on the ground and picks the axe up, and then just sees the next guy, charges towards him with a jump, slams the axe that buries him against the stairs. He takes that out and then takes the axe and cleaves actually a part of the step rail off with his swing, and then slams it over into the arm, the step rail kind of breaking the full brunt of the swing, but as it does, you hear this loud like crunch, and then blood starts to pour from the wound. The guy's screaming on the steps as he's trying to stay alive as best he can. After that, the pirates, the guy that's laying back is just going to do the same thing and just try to take a pot shot with the pistol as he's laying back. Disadvantage because it's in melee. That's going to miss. Alright, that guy's just crumpled there, right?
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay,
His
yeah.
body.
Got it. This guy's going to turn around, Chelonia, with a sword and take 2 attacks at you. So an 11 and a 19. Okay, so with the sword, you're going to take 7 points of slashing damage. And then this guy down towards you, Azrael, that's behind you, he's going to take the 2 pistol shots at you. So I think only one's going to hit here. I've got a 12 and a 25.
Yep.
Okay, so the one shot is going to be 9 points of piercing damage. As the bullet slams, you feel it bury itself like across your shoulder, like your trap muscle almost. Like it was almost going to go into like the actual bone and meat of your shoulder and probably get stuck, but you feel it just like graze the top and clip it. And there's just like this irritating and painful sensation to your shoulder as blood dripping from it, and you can feel the liquid slowly dripping down your chest as well. Okay. This guy here, that's on the opposite side of the one that's in combat with Chelonia, is going to turn around and face you, Chelonia, and then he's going to take a shot at you. So that's a 18 to hit.
It hits, but I'm going to use my deflect missiles to try and catch that.
Okay.
On this.
Oh God.
So it is plus my dex. So
Don't worry, I'll figure out how this works. in the
14.
real world.
I think it's the damage you reduce.
18. I reduce it by 18. If I reduce it to 0, I catch it.
Okay.
Matrix style.
Very quickly, in this very brief moment, you see into the future of him taking the gun up towards you and shooting it. You just, in this snap instant, take your hands and just like, just redirect it in this sprint of a moment where the bullet actually goes into your hand. You can feel it graze, and I'm imagining you're going to spend the key to throw it.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and throw it back at the guy, I'm assuming.
Yes. I don't know how the damage works. It's your.
It's just my regular monk quest.
Like those old skits where they catch in the teeth or whatever.
So
Right.
I do 10 damage.
10?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you roll the hit?
I think you still have to
Oh,
roll
I'm
the hit.
sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, I missed him.
What'd you roll?
7.
7? Okay, yeah. It's very hard to catch a bullet and throw it back at him.
Yeah.
But it was that brief glimpse into the future that you saw where you're able to kind of just try to redirect it. Guess it probably would have made more sense if you just like turned your shell around and deflected it that way, but we're going to go with that.
Cool points.
Cannonball.
Cool points. Alrighty. So, oh, that's going to be weird.
There's a size.
After the pirates, nope, they're not done yet.
All those guys.
This
Or
guy,
these three.
yep, those 3 there. This guy's gonna take shot at Zarvrax there.
Leave him alone.
Straight.
Let's see. So 18.
Yeah.
He's gonna take 5, half to 2, and the 2 guys at the top are gonna take their shots. Lowest is a 17.
17 will do it.
So the first one, 2 points or 2 damage again because it's 5 halved, and then at 12, half to 6. Shots again, firing off. I rolled for all 3. That's the pirate's turn. After that, you guys can see the boats that are pulling into where the ship is. At this point, they've moved about 50 or so feet closer. The one that's like in the water has only moved about 25 or so feet, just because the waves are kind of contesting the fact that it's pulling the boat towards it. So instead of it just like pulling the boat to it, they're kind of just like doing this thing where they're pulling themselves together. So while it's actually pulling the boat away, it's also kind of coming closer. So the distance is a little strange, but the boat itself, each of them have moved 50 feet now, so these are only like, 150 or so feet away, and this is only like 200 or so feet away. But that is the pirate's turn, and Ander is up.
Okay, fearing for what might lurk below him, he's going to use his turn to move closer to the boat.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he can only move like 1 or 2, two
Yeah,
squares.
it's like 1 and
with
a half, but yeah.
Can he, I'm just going to have him dash up to the top of the ladder, like dash action.
Okay.
And then get up to the top of the ladder and like duck down and wait and get ready to throw cards next turn.
Okay. Good. Neris and Wraith.
Getting me within 60 feet of that other boat.
Okay. The second you're within 60 feet, what would you like to do?
Look at the bottom hole of the boat
Okay.
and cast Disintegrate on it.
On
All
the...
of the boat.
Okay. Let me look up Disintegrate here.
It's a 10 square foot hole.
Okay.
The water will be rushing in.
It's like the last part of Disintegrate.
Yeah, let me see. Spell just reach a larger, smaller, non-magical object. The target is huge. Spell disintegrates a 10-foot cube portion of it. Okay, yeah, they just blast a hole in the side of the boat. It's a 6th level spell though, so I get it.
Yeah, it's worth the
Right.
worth the 10-foot hole you can put in something.
How does this beam look that comes out,
So-
Connor? How would you describe it? What does it look
Pretty
like?
much, you see Connor, he's on the back of Wraith and they're like getting into range.
Yep.
And as they're getting into range, he like kind of lets go of Wraith, and then he moves his hands together almost like Kamehameha style.
Okay.
And just throws his force wave
Okay.
through, like it like almost splits the water.
Okay.
As it's going through.
Gotcha.
It's the side.
This red hot beam starts to part the water that's in the ocean a little bit in the spot that it's going through, like causing this bit of cavitation to where it sprints and slams into the side, spiraling. As it hits, there's this instant just like bit of bubbling that you can see in this water that's starting to rush into the ship. The ship itself, you can see, instantly almost starts to go down into one side. It doesn't seem like it's instantly capsizing, but it is just like starting to go down in an instant almost, to where the back part of the deck is starting to maybe be like 5 feet from the surface of the water where it's dipping down. You see like 2 or 3 like splashes into the water itself of what you're not really too sure. but you do see one that kind of slams over the edge and wood kind of splinters and breaks off of the top part of the boat, where you watch a cannon just splash into the water and just start to sink to the bottom.
Damn.
After Connor's turn, Chelonia. You didn't want to do anything else, right? You're good?
That was my my held action.
Okay. Oh shit, yeah, you're right. Because Neris and Wraith would have went. So now we go, if Neris and Wraith are doing anything, they can.
Did
But
they have
Wraith
any more
would've-
movement left?
Wraith would have taken, so you were about 200 feet, and he can go the whole 200, and you wanted to go within 60, right?
Yep.
So they can get all the way to the ship if they wanted to.
Okay. So what we're gonna do now is kind of like, if we're going this way, I cast it. We're gonna go down a little bit and go up,
Okay.
so I can see off the top of the water.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. The second that they get up to that point and are there, you can see just pure chaos and panic on top of the boat. Stuff is like sliding and shifting off to the edge. You can see bits of wood that are just kind of like snapping and breaking from it slowly starting to creak down in the pressure of the water, and some spots that just don't have a ton of structure to them. It definitely looks like it's sinking, and there's probably no way that they're going to stop it.
Can't
It's
stop
a
a 10-foot hole.
10-foot hole of just this, just
luck.
gallons and gallons of water are pouring into the boat. All right, now we're at the top of the next turn. Moldrek, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna try again.
All right,
We'll see how it goes.
0 to 20 or 1 to 25 rather. 'Cause
Fuck.
You're
59.
getting closer.
Yeah, I'm.
you are slowly getting
It's-
lower.
it's
It's
a
like
1 in 4.
96,
This is 3.
81, 76,
Yeah.
51.
We'll see. That's okay.
Okay.
That's my turn. And I'm gonna. I'll just stay where I'm at. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, because at this point you're probably like 90 or so feet away.
From it?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get any closer.
yeah. Probably even closer. It's probably like 80 or so
Keeping
feet.
it from doing anything is good for now.
Yeah. Okay. After Moldrek, Connor, you're up.
All right. I think
I'd
now
say
is
so.
about time that we've caused a lot of chaos, and it's time to call in backup.
Okay.
So what Connor's gonna do is he's going to, however you want to do this.
Okay.
I want to shoot up, like we can use 2 turns for it. Yeah, let's
Okay.
use 2 turns for it.
Okay.
Sounds cooler.
All right.
Pulls his staff out
Got it.
and just pretty much as high as he can shoot, he's shooting a meteor into the sky.
Okay, and then causing it to explode in the air.
No, next
Okay.
turn, it's just gonna be like amassing, because
Okay.
we'll just say the way he's shooting the meteor
Okay.
is it's gonna use the staff's effect,
Got it.
where it like
Amplifies it.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's just gonna get bigger and bigger.
All right.
So hopefully they can see it from far away.
Got it.
And then it's gonna smash onto our ship and blow it up.
All right, that works for me. Sounds good. Alrighty. Connor is just lifting the staff up at the top of the water, kind of sitting on Wraith's back as you guys are just kind of floating there. Neris has the bow drawn ready for whatever may come, but you're just focusing upward, and you can just slowly see like rock starting to form and slowly turn around as you're fabricating it from nothing, essentially. It's starting to slowly grow and grow and grow as you continue to focus on it. Chelonia, you're up. Azrael, you're on deck. Then Zarbrax.
All right.
I'm
So
telling you.
I'm gonna risk getting hit by this guy. So I'm gonna actually move towards.
You can use disengage as a bonus action.
Well, that's the problem.
Costs a key point, but you can.
Yeah.
Can I grapple as a bonus action? No, it has to be an action.
It's an
Okay.
attack.
Oh, it's an attack. Okay. I'm gonna go towards this fella with the 2 guns here.
Okay. I'm going to take an attack opportunity at you.
Yep.
18 to hit.
That hits.
You're going to take 9 points of slashing damage.
Alright. And as this guy is holding his guns,
Yep, he's kind of pointed down at Azrael right now.
I'm gonna take my finger and tap him on the back of the head and use Pacify Soul.
Okay. So read to me what I got to do here. I think I got to make a save, right?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. me see what the bonus. That's definitely not. I rolled a 2, so it's probably like a 1 or a 3. It's not gonna be anything crazy.
Yeah, you gotta hit 18.
Yeah, it definitely didn't hit 18.
It's got a plus 30.
Right. Yeah, so it was only a 2.
Okay, so he fails. And then I'm going to kind of... So he's like charmed now.
The second you push the back of his head, there's this like yellow ring that bursts out from it, but it's like this very, very faint yellow, like dull energy that ripples on his body and kind of goes down. Then you watch him with the pistols kind of just like put him at his side and just turn around and look at you.
So I'm going to kind of stand, like kind of pivot, so I'm in between. You said he turned around a little.
Yeah, he's facing you. He's just like staring at you.
And I'm going to tell him to tell his men to put down their weapons.
Okay. What exactly do you want to say to him? You can see that he's just like, he still has like an intense look on his face, but he's just like lulled.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to try to convince him that we're like, we know each other somehow, or like he's familiar with us.
What are you saying to him to make him think he knows you?
I don't know if that's right. I want to.
What words are you saying to him?
I know.
Like,
I'm trying to
right now.
Figure out. I'm gonna tell him. I mean, I'm assuming he's in charge, so I'm just gonna tell your men to put down their weapons.
Okay, go ahead and make a charisma check or a persuasion check with advantage, because you have advantage on ability checks to interact with the creature socially.
You said charisma.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Almost said persuasion.
14.
14. Okay. Oi! Put down your weapons! Just kind of points over to the two guys on the side, and they're like, "What? Put down your weapons!" Captain, what? Put down your weapons! Why? Put down your weapons!
I whisper into his ear because I command it. Like, I'm like, I want to like walk him through that.
Because I command it! And then they just kind of say, "Alright, Captain." Just kind of set the pistol down and the sword. And the other one sets it down and kind of drops it. A little bit of wave hits the boat and the sword kind of dinks off to the edge. Goes, "Oh, I really like that one!" And then it kind of splashes into the water and they look over.
Can I whisper to him again to do it to yell out to the rest of them?
I'd say that that's your turn for this one.
Okay.
Just because of the time it would take to kind of have that whole interaction. After that, Azrael, you're up.
I'm gonna try and shoot at this guy some more.
Okay, and I would say that you definitely would have noticed that happening because the guy just shot you, so you'd have been looking up and then watched Chelonia like poke the back of his head and he just turns around and then turns to the other guys and you can hear him shouting to put their weapons down. So now you look over at that guy and you're like, okay.
Natural 20.
Oh, fuck. Alright.
11, 18, 36, 48 damage.
Okay. That guy just one shot clean through his head. It splatters into a mess and his body falls on the steps.
I'm going to use another curse for the fallen puppet.
Okay.
So I take some damage. We're down at 8. And he's going to go ahead and run up the stairs here and then shoot this guy.
Okay. Go ahead and
We need 3 guys.
do that.
We got 3.
So we have those 3.
No
guys.
fucking way. Rolled another natural 20. So that's 18. And he shot the guy immediately there. 9, 18, 22 damage. He's still alive, but just walks up the steps, pulls the gun, and then crumples to the ground immediately after doing so.
You guys are the take
Then my second shot, I'm going to shoot the guy he just shot.
Okay.
So 20.
Hits.
8 plus 11, 19 damage.
19. Okay. He's still alive. You shoot him and you watch blood splatter from the shoulder. The opposite shoulder. Damn, I'm so sorry when I do that, people. I fucked my own ears up listening to the stream when I yanked the fucking mic off my chest. But the first shot that the pirate that you kind of do the puppet thing on, as he shoots, it hits the left shoulder and kind of exposes the right, and then you just shoot that one. He's bleeding from both sides.
That's my turn.
Okay.
Zarvarak's gonna lay into the guy in front of him.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll the hit.
Do reckless now. So 23.
Okay, that guy dies. He's got 1 health.
Yeah, stack.
Yeah. And he's gonna sprint up the stairs, leap off the railing, and fucking slam his axe into the guy that just got shot twice.
Go for it.
24, 28.
That guy dies too. I'm pretty sure just with his strength. He's got 4 health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Takes the first swing and just cleaves the guy's like upper half to where his neck and like shoulder are kind of still attached to the body but just dangling off as he falls to the ground. Sprints up the stairs and takes this jump, and then lightning arcs beneath his feet as he slams the axe down into the top part of the head, splitting that in half, and blood just like squirts straight up. Yanks the axe out and turns around towards the other guy.
Looks around for his next target and just fucking yells at him,
Yeah.
and then the lightning will
Yeah,
fly
so
out
I'll
at
do
him.
the dex save for that. It's going to be a 7.
10 damage.
Jesus.
Double 5s.
Okay. So...
And then I guess during my turn I would have yelled out to just make sure those 3 up there all stay alive.
Well, come help me.
After that... You can chop back if you want to.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Alright.
I just yelled at him and then just fire at all these other guys out there.
Alrighty.
And there's up there too. So.
It's gonna be funny, guys.
Israel's Zarvarak's. The pirates are up. That guy's still charmed by you.
Scoop up.
Those two, I'm
the
gonna
nets
do
out.
some rolls really quick. Yeah, they're just like standing there.
I can move it towards
Yeah,
you.
they're just like kind of confused. Like one of them kind of just like goes to reach down, and the captain's just like looking at him. He's not saying anything, so they're just like, "All right, okay." That guy over there, however, is going to jump off the side of the ship. Just put him over the edge, like in the water. Yep, he just like
Good enough.
he doesn't even dive. It's just like he just like falls over the rail, trying his best to get up and out of here, but he's just not the dexterity with how scared he is and confused and thrown off by everything. The ship's like sinking in the other corner. This one's got like waves splashing against it. There's this huge explosion about to happen that he just sees this huge meteor growing in the sky. He's fucking out. He just jumps over the edge. He's done. Done. His buddy over here is bleeding like out here, neck. It's just all bad. He wants no part of any of it.
Zarvarak's getting assist credit.
Ander is up.
Okay.
Ander watches that guy jump off into the water.
Oh,
And I
is
just
he,
yelled to make sure everyone stays alive up there.
is he leaving? Would he have seen the pacifying thing or no?
For sure.
Okay.
And then he would have heard Azrael also shout to keep the 3 alive up top. And then heard Chonlonia yell to come help
I'm
him.
conflicted about having Ander attack someone who's running away. I don't know if his character would do that.
The only thing that I will say is that Captain Fletcher said make sure nobody gets away, like nobody stays alive, because they don't
Alright.
need to know that they're coming.
He's like, all right, I swear something touched my foot down there. And he's gonna throw 3 cards at this guy.
Okay, go for it.
Nothing. 23 to hit for the first one.
Yeah, it hits.
How many charges does he need? 30?
7.
I don't remember.
20?
Uh,
I think if you
15
flip his thing over, I think he keeps his
15 points of damage for the first attack.
15?
Yeah.
20, yeah.
I'm gonna roll a
Close, man.
gambling point. Damn. This roulette table really scammed me. 7, no luck, nothing happens, and you lose the gambling point. Nope. Got a king.
Those are usually the best ones.
Yeah.
Probably the one that makes them.
On a hit, the target must succeed a deck save or be restrained for 1 minute. I don't know how you're gonna roll that one, but
Deck save.
yeah. No. Well, that's like a
17
a
for the deck save.
26. I don't know what his
It goes
DC.
on his charisma.
It's charisma.
So
it's-
probably pretty low. For
Yeah, I think it's like 12 or 14. No, it's more than 12 because it'd be 8 plus your proficiency, which is at least.
It's plus 5. 8 plus 5 is 13 plus.
Oh yeah, it's 5 now.
Plus his 13 in charisma.
So he's got +1, I think.
Yeah. 14.
Yeah, so he succeeds.
But the damage.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna kill him with just the card. So
Poor guy.
Oh, good damage too. 17 points of piercing, 2 points of fire.
The first card that he hits just kind of like slams the guy in the shoulder, and he's just trying to swim away, and he kind of splashing. The second card that he throws just kind of like sinks into the same spot in the back of the shoulder, but you can see that he just like starts to get exhausted and just gets to a point where he starts to just like float from bleeding, and then blood starts to pool around him.
You damn pirates.
Okay. All right. Is there any movement Andrew is doing?
He's gonna move towards, as I say, so we move maybe up.
Like over here.
Yeah, that way.
Okay. Neris and Wraith. They just keeping you there? Because I imagine at this point you're pretty much like standing on Wraith's back almost, unless they like flew off.
Yeah. Just kind of just sitting in this position, just focusing right now.
Okay. Moldrak, you're up.
Okay. How far? Like, so is it? They're still connected by harpoons.
Correct.
How far?
At this point, with the way that the ship on the other side is, it's starting to actually pull that ship towards you, because this one's like sinking and it's taut on it, so it's kind of doing this like bit of tug of war.
No.
So it doesn't look like right now that it has moved a whole bunch from where it was, but you definitely know it's about to start pulling it the other direction, like towards you it would be.
Okay.
And it's not like straight towards you, it's kind of like at this angle from where the ship is. So right now it's about, I'd say like 80 or so feet away from you.
Okay. How far is the harpoon ship from the ship I'm trying to sink? Is my question.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
probably, let me look at what I got here. So
It's weird math, so I'm just-
So it's probably like 150 feet.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna go again then.
Okay.
Fuck. 41.
See, it's just slowly getting
it's
lower.
getting
and
lower
lower.
every time, but
It's slowly getting lower
that's
and lower.
okay. Yeah. I'm gonna start moving a little bit like out of the path.
Potential blast
Yeah.
radius. Got it.
That, well, I don't so much need to worry about, well,
Fragmentation.
yeah, I'm gonna get, a little bit out
Yeah,
of
you
the
definitely
way.
think there's going to be some shrapnel as well. So
That's true.
the fire's not what you're worried about. It's the exploding metal that's on the ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna start moving in like a direction away from the,
Okay,
kind of in like a circle so that I'm still in my range of the
I got you.
ship.
Connor, you're up. And at this point,
Same thing.
you are just pulling it down now.
Yup.
Yeah. All right. So the meteor at this point is quite large. It's almost like creating a shadow onto the boat, like the back half of it. And Connor, just like your veins in your arm are kind of starting to flex out as you're pulling down to slam it onto the thing. Like it doesn't normally, like normally it would just like slam down, but it's almost like you're just like moving this tiny itty bitty planet in the sky and slamming it onto the boat where it slams down. And as it slams, it's instant. Like it hits the top part and crushes the back, and then there's just this with a mushroom cloud that follows. You guys can feel the blast like in your chest. It's enough of it to where like just blows upward. There's this flame kind of licking through the smoke that's in the air. The wood there is no piece of wood sitting around that doesn't have some sort of scorch or fire that's on top of it currently. The water itself on top is on fire as well from the oil that's just kind of sitting at the top there. pieces of wood floating around. There's metal chunks that have just like flown in through the air, and then there's even moments where there's just like a splash next to you, or like another splash, or like splash, 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 splash,
Duck down.
splash. Stuff is just dropping from the sky constantly. It has definitely exploded, and you think that they probably would have seen that. It was enormous. The waves are now like sloshing around in the area near that cargo ship, and even you guys over here, you know, like a good 300 or so feet away, felt the pressure from it. You guys immediately next to it, your ears kind of have like a slight ring to them, but you're not like fully like deafened or anything. Okay. After that, Chelonia, you're up.
So I'm gonna whisper again to kind of puppeting this captain. As I got it for a minute, so is a minute passed yet?
No.
Okay.
6 seconds have passed.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to tell him to tell your men to throw all their weapons overboard.
Throw all your weapons over the side.
It's just those.
What? Throw your weapons over the side.
Tell them the only way they'll live is if they throw their weapons off.
The only way you'll live is if you throw your weapons over the side. All right, Captain. All right. They grab it and then they start splashing into the water.
And then I tell him to drop his.
He just drops the pistols instantly.
I scoop them, and then I call for Azrael to come up and tie everybody up. Hey, Azrael, I need your help. Bring some rope.
You hear him. Is that the end of your turn?
And then I'm going to. I don't know what they do, like how they work, but I know like.
You've seen them holding them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna point them at the two.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, one's
He's holding them like this.
I'm gonna hold them and then kind of drop the rope out of my pack, out of my explorer's pack.
Okay.
Tie yourself up.
Yeah. The one guy's like, oh, what? The guys that you're pointing at are like, what? All right, what just happened? Then the captain just starts like grabbing rope and like throwing it around himself, and then, like puts it on his wrist.
Can't much tie himself up.
At that point, Azrael, you've made your way up.
Yeah, when it's my turn, I'm just gonna kick his body up the fucking and then walk up.
I didn't see nothing.
Yep, that guy's there, and he's like just like grabbing rope and like.
Well, they refer to the
Throwing
fleet
it
as
What fleet?
the pirates. It's not just like the Taken Serpent.
They all just call themselves
Yeah, they're the
Taken
Taken
Serpent.
They're all
Serpent. Yeah.
Greetings, sailors of the Taken Serpent. This is now the vessel of the Keepers of Zaxria. I need you all to relinquish all of your weapons and come on over here for a nice little binding action here. Bring up some rope from the...
Yeah. You start tying the captain up, who's just like looking at Chelonia the whole time, and you're having to like tell him, because immediately like he sees Azrael and wants to just like go after him, but you have to like calm him for a second, and then he's just like, all right. And then you tie him up. At this point, you've tied the captain up, started to tie up another individual, and you're like pointing the gun at the other one. As you're tying him up, the captain like just kind of like, what the hell kind of magic is that?
Put my
Just
hand
kind
on
of
my
like
shoulder.
spits on the ground.
Don't worry, well, everything's gonna be alright. Hey, come on.
He's just kind of looking around. At this point, Zarvax has probably come over as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Blood
if
is
he
like
hesitates
dripping
for a
from
second,
the
I'll be like,
eyes.
come on!
Right. Sorry. Yes. Right. He just puts his hands forward.
Tie him up.
You have 3 of them all kind of tied up and sitting there.
Do we have anything to gag them with?
More rope.
Rope. Oh, well, time to the mast.
Put some gags on leftover rope.
And I don't know what the best play is, like tie them to the ship so they can't just like run and
Jump off.
jump off.
Time to the
They have hands
mast.
together and their legs together. If they jump off, they're
We're
drowned.
gonna hog tie them. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
They can,
On their
they can
bellies.
still keep an eye on. They can caterpillar to the edge.
I'll just
Just
put
like-
like a...
Scrunch your knees to their forehead.
I'll loop one big long strand of rope through all 3 of their makeshift
Okay.
shackles.
Tied to like the wheel.
You got. I'm gonna, because I'm just the current mood of everything is that everything is sort of stopped. But that boat is still fucking trying its darndest to do whatever it's going to do.
Yeah.
The harpoon like flung off into the sky and looks like it landed onto the deck of the boat that's still like standing there in the waves. So if you want to try and capsize it again, you are more than welcome.
I'm
to.
gonna try.
It looks like it's just getting lower and lower at this point. So I think.
57. It got a little higher.
Bastard.
But it lasts for 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna keep going.
I mean, yeah, you can.
Just keep rolling.
If we end up in just like free flow mode here, I think me and Andrew are gonna head over to a couple of these farther cannons and try to shoot over at the last ship.
Okay, gotcha.
I'll come help you if Ander wants to start moving the ship closer to the other ones, because he's the only one who knows how to sail.
Yeah, we kind of need crew members to move the ship around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you haven't noticed over there, the water is on fire. Doesn't usually do that.
Go ahead and make another roll, Moldrak.
Alright. 12!
Oh, fuck! The second that Andrew goes to like point, is like, all right, we can start going over to that.
Up
There's
in
just
the
this-
air.
The fucking ship just crunches in half and splits, and then water, and then he's like, fuck it, we still shoot these cannons.
I was ready to fuck. I had the fucking light.
It kicks back and flies over to the side. See, that's why we mounted the ones to the Peacekeeper. Because it goes...
Pretty much.
Okay.
Okay, at this point, we're just going to jump ahead a little bit to where you guys would have reconvened.
Yeah.
You can see probably only about 50 or so feet from where you are, the fleet has like already got up to where you are. It only took them about 5-10 minutes at full speed, like in the wind, going towards you, full on sailing, like just trying to get it to you as fast as they could after they saw the huge explosion.
Told them they would know the signal.
They're still, yeah. They're still a little bit of a ways out to where if you guys wanted to do anything in the meantime, you can. But I'd say at this point, it would have been you guys like coming over, swimming, getting back to this ship here. Everybody's on this ship now.
I would say I would probably ask Neris to change Wraith into flying mode and fly, at least one or two of us back over to go and tell the fleet, like, there are survivors in the water, round them up.
Okay.
Like, throw out nets, do whatever. Round up the survivors from the 3 ships. Like, as many as you can.
Yeah. As you fly, you see the main like ship where Captain Fletcher is. It's all well.
Yes, we are good. We've already kind of destroyed the 3 ships, but there are lots of survivors in the water. Round them up. Have your men go and tie them up and stuff. And
Will do. He just kind of like lifts his arm up to the side, does like a quick hand motion a couple of times, and then puts this one forward, and then does the same thing on the other side.
you may want
watch
to
them start
keep an
to-
eye out. I don't that explosion. If you could see it, hopefully there was nobody else watching.
Well, it was one hell of a signal.
Yeah, that's Connor.
It looked like a distress signal.
Sorry.
It is all right.
We figured it'd be easier if you guys were over here rounding people up. But I think we have... Yeah, I look back and see that... I was like, yeah, there's still one ship left. I think all went well.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Better results than I was expecting.
Me too, honestly. Yeah.
All right. We'll all do our quick cleanup here and see where we stand. The ships start to all go around. A lot of them are like over the sides with bows, just like reaching them back and shooting down into the water. Some of them are like throwing nets over. Some of them even just throw like these like wooden planks that are attached to a rope as some sort of like buoy, like life, rescue device that they throw out, and the pirates, very, very willingly grab onto it, as they would probably rather be on the boat than they would floating around in the sea for whatever may come. But it looks like amongst the boats, they probably get up maybe 8 or so people amongst the people that they get, and probably kill, maybe 20 or so more in the water. At this point, the fleet has come over to the ship that is here. They haven't like surrounded it, but they cautiously approached it just because it's just this natural thing to do when they see that flag, to just kind of fly over and go that way. But then they ease up a little bit. So, what do we have here?
I'm standing at the front of the naval ship.
Welcome
like this.
to our new vessel, the Taken Pirate ship.
Hey,
Yeah.
maybe some different colors and it will be good.
Yeah, this one didn't sustain much damage, so.
How many cannons are left?
All,
There's
4?
only- you got
3?
2.
2? I don't know. Some of them don't work anymore, I don't think.
Has a quick decline. 4 to 3 to 2.
There was 4, then there was 3, then I think there might only be 2.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe we can use them.
We got 3 prisoners up on top deck.
All right, looks like we have about 8 or so. So let's rile them up. If we can get everyone on this ship here,
Of course.
I won't be setting foot on that one.
Do you want these cannons?
I'm sure we can use them.
Okay. I'll
We're assuming they have some storage or something below deck.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that check for the cannonballs and the powders, and also just useful supplies.
Yeah, you go below deck and there's probably at least 3 dozen or so cannonballs that are made, and then you can see 2 barrels of just gunpowder that are there. They're like these stout kind of like, no, they're not like huge. They're like these stout little, I don't really want to say like a tankard, but they're about this big, and then they're just very thick around, and they're lined on the inside with some sort of like a steel that's just kind of melted to the inside of it, and it's almost like a funnel at the top, and there's like a little lip to pour it out. But
Probably just yell for Zyrex to come grab them while Moldrak's carrying the actual cannons.
Yeah.
all right, yeah. Other than that, if anybody's looking
Oh,
around,
Andrew probably would have been in the captain's quarters, like right away.
okay,
Yeah.
there is like a small chest, but it's really like doesn't seem to have anything within it. You'd imagine that most of the pirates that go out take something and then return with it, and they have it all stored and stocked up elsewhere.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna inspect the ammo of these pirates on their corpses to see if it's a match
okay.
that would work in my
That's
gun.
a good plan.
For your gun, it seems that the like the caliber of it would suffice. You don't think that it's like as well made as the ammo that you have, but you think that you'd probably be able to
In a pinch.
use like the gunpowder from it. But the only thing is that it's like theirs are just like these pellets that that they shoot out of the flintlock, and where yours is more of like something that has a casing that has to like go into it. So you'd imagine it's probably not a good idea to try to shoot that out of it. But the gunpowder, like the small little things that they have to pour into it to be able to load it and shoot it, seem
Gather up those from
Steal
their bodies.
the guns.
yeah. Okay, yeah, works for me.
I'm running out of space for more firearms.
I'm gonna search the
We'll
cabin.
get you your own bag of holding.
What he has.
Okay. Go ahead. You just willingly can check him because he's all tied up. But
Armory
going through
bag.
his pockets, you can see that he carries in one side. There's just like a small pouch of gold that's got like 30 or so pieces in it. But when you see it, you just kind of are like, seen people use this, but I don't know what the fuck it is. But yeah, just like throw it to the side and it clinks on the ground. You can see as it clinks and like rolls, one of them that are tied up just kind of like reaches his hand towards it to like try to grab it as best he can, but he just can't. Oh god, I got a shooting cramp up my leg.
You can stand in DM.
Okay, hello everyone. Wow, that was insane. Need to drink some water. Anyhow, oh yeah, wow, that was great. That felt good to stand. Thank you. All right, but anyways, like I was saying, as you begin to check his pockets, you can also see that he has what appears to be some sort of a slip of paper that just has the same instructions to get back to the island that you guys already have. So you're not like too worried. You just like toss it to the side. He does, however, have a ruby about that big that he seems to keep in like another small pouch, and it just kind of interests you a little bit, so you can hold on to that if you want that. Yeah. But other than that, he doesn't seem to be really carrying too much. As I said, it seems that, and Andrew would know, that most of the time when they go and plunder, they just bring everything back and hoard it in one spot, as to not be, taken over by the Navy at all for stuff to be stolen or whatever. But they don't seem to be carrying a whole lot on board. Amongst everybody, if you looted everybody, you could probably get like 60 gold.
That's fine. I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah, I figured as much. Okay. Now at this point, we're going to get through this last little bit here, and then call it a day.
God, it's all jacks and queens.
At this point, when you get onto the main ship of the fleet that Captain Fletcher is the head of, even though it's, you know what I mean, the main ship here, you see General Haberdash is actually on this ship now.
Okay.
Just a brief description of this man again. He has, I don't know if you've ever played Final Fantasy X, but the individual that has like the jacket where his arm's just kind of on the inside of it. I can't remember his name. I think it's like Aaron or Aaron or something. But his jacket, the way it's set up, is just like there's like this one shoulder piece, and then like the sleeve goes down, and his arm is actually like sitting inside of that, and the other arm is just on the outside. It's just kind of like this weird general's jacket that he wears. He also has on his side a sword that you can see, and then he also has at the right side of his belt, if Azrael, Ander, and Moldrak would make. I'm gonna let you make it too, because you just kind of like gain things off people. Perception checks for me.
Can I use my wisdom modifier then?
Yeah, so your perception, whatever the skill is, yep, you add that to it.
So, okay. So 17.
17, okay.
23.
23.
Oh, he does. 7 and, well, the first one was better. Ander rolled, he has proficiency, I think, so. Doesn't have any of the scores written. 6. Ander got a 13, I got a natural 20 for 29.
Okay. You catch it immediately. He has like a very well-made pistol on the front part of his belt. Not sure exactly like how he got it or how he has it, but it's just like right in the front there. He's not like hiding it at all. It's just sitting out in the open, like in a holster. The sword that he has a nice little hilt to it. It's pretty similar to the one that Fletcher has. Fletcher, however, doesn't seem to carry a pistol on him. Not 100% sure why, but nevertheless, you see that one there. And then General Haberdash, as he's walking forward, just kind of doesn't speak. Is just like gesturing for the 8 pirates to like stand in a line on the center of the ship. The ones that were like hog-tied or the way you had them tied up, everybody gets re-tied up to where it's like this behind their back tied, and then the rope continues to go to the next, similar to how you were thinking of like looping them all together. They do that to them all in a line, and then the center part, so they're like on the sides of the mast, they're all tied in the middle to the mast, almost as like there's another person, and then the rope continues to, the 4 somewhere, so there's like 4 on each side. The captain of the one ship that you guys overtook is, just to the left of the mast that's sitting there. And Fletcher walks forward. As he walks forward, one of the individuals just starts running his mouth, like out of nowhere. Whatever you think you're doing, you ain't gonna work. Nightshade has the smarts and the weapons. Boats so big they bigger than this boat. He's ruthless and without mercy. We ain't saying nothing. You can't do anything to us that Nightshade can't do 100 times worse. We is! And then you watch General Haberdash take the blade and then just clean it straight across the throat of the individual, who starts coughing and falling over on the deck.
Why don't we make an insight check just to try and like ascertain anything about maybe like this guy's background or like the type of person Haberdash.
Oh yeah, make an
the
insight check.
type of person he seems to be.
Go for it.
Okay.
You also see, as he does that, the blood pouring from his throat. Captain Fletcher standing there with his arms behind his back, doesn't even flinch to him doing that. Well, as you can all see, there is a happy medium we're looking for. Not too talkative, Not too quiet either. So, which one of you are the silent type? So we can get this thing moving along. A lot of people are kind of just like shaking their heads. A few of them are like, I'm not silent, not me. And then a couple at the ends with their heads kind of up. Haberdash just like looks over and nods his head. You watch one of the crew members walk over, slit the throat, and then they just kind of slump over. You can watch them as they're pulling, like the guy's body's falling down. The other ones that are tied up move towards that direction as well.
Before he gets to the captain,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna walk up to the guy who I know is the captain.
Yep.
And I'm gonna pacify him again.
Okay, go ahead.
You have to make this. He has to make this.
Oh, yes, that's right. I don't know why I thought it was some sort of a... So that is going to be a 13.
He does not.
Okay.
I turn to Haberdash or I tell the captain, I say, answer any of the questions he has. I look at Haberdash and point.
I rolled a 23.
Okay,
Insight.
gotcha. He's a pretty difficult man to read. He doesn't speak, from what you can tell.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him speak at all.
He hasn't said a word,
Yeah.
but he seems to be trusted by Fletcher. There's definitely something about him that's a little off, and you can't tell if it's like him hiding something or he's just a really odd person. So there's definitely something there that you're just not getting the full picture of and what's going on with him. It definitely causes like some alarm bells to go off, but nothing immediate where it's like, this guy needs to go.
Yeah, well-
Something is just very off-putting about him, I would say.
Okay.
And you definitely get an odd vibe from him.
Got it.
Is it still the same evening?
From when you guys got ambushed?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's dark and like the moon is like coming down onto the deck. There's two people who have their throats slit laying on the ground, and then as you're sitting there, a third gets his cut as he's doing the same thing and just kind of like spits forward at the Captain Fletcher, who just kind of like looks at him and says, "Very well." And then he gives a nod, and then somebody walks behind him, slits his throat to the point where the captain, as you walk up, you guys watch Chelonia with the staff move forward, and then you did like the forehead. He lets like a poke, and you watch this yellow ring kind of emanate down and then go through the body to where he looks at Chelonia, and then Chelonia points to Fletcher and Haberdash and says, tell them anything they need to know. Haberdash looks over at you, and he's kind of does just a quick inquisitive look.
And I look back and I use my intuit. I look right at him and try to use a key point to try to sense his alignment.
Captain Fletcher's?
No.
Haberdash.
Haberdash.
Okay.
Haberdash?
Yes,
Okay.
Haberdash. Okay. As you look over to Haberdash, I'll give you a second here, but Captain Fletcher looks at you to like try to gauge what you just did to the individual whose forehead you poked.
Go ahead and ask him what you...
What is Nightshade? He be on his island, sir. Just got back from a plunder. He looks to you. Very well.
What are the faces of the other crew when he said that?
All of them are just kind of like looking up forward. At that point, he just, we won't be needing the rest of you. Some of them walk over and like start like flailing around. You can't say nothing. No, I'll tell you where he's at. I'll tell you. And then they all just start getting their throats slit till all that's left is the captain. They take the bodies and just start to shove them over the side. They splash into the water. The captain's still sitting there, Haberdash with his hands behind his back. At this point now, like kneels down in front of the captain that's there. How many ships? Right now, I'd say probably about 30 or so. All docked. I think 15 of them's out right now. Well, 12 now. We're usually about 50 strong, but we've lost a few here and there. Down to about 40. Thank you for the information. What's on the island? He does this brief kind of like, not telling you nothing. And kind of blinks for a second. Go ahead and just make a persuasion check with advantage for me. You can see that he's not like fully resisting it, but you're 17. Okay, yeah. He just kind of continues into the same mode and looks back up towards Fletcher. What's on the island? I said. It's where we keep everything. All the good stuff that Nightshade finds. all the gold, stuff we plunder and steal. It's where the workshop is, where we make all the weapons. 2 guard towers at the front part, south side. The docks on the eastern part. Don't know what you did, son, but well done. He looks back towards him. Kind of gives him a look over. What are you to the fleet? I'm a captain of one of the ships. That's all. Where are you from, boy? Be honest, I can't even remember. It's a shame. Tie him up in my quarters. If we need to use him for more information, are you able to do that again? So greatly help us then. We'll keep him aboard my ship along with you. If we need to interrogate him at any moment, we'll have to have you do that again. At that point, General Haverdash walks behind Captain Fletcher to like follow him into the office while holding the captain and walking forward. As he does, there's this moment where you look him in the eye.
Oh shit. Let me hit the old mute button. Let me hit Norm's mute button too, so we don't catch any bit of that. Sponsors? Hit us up.
You look him in the eye. He looks at you, and you see pretty much right through him for a moment before he continues to walk past, holding the, not Captain Fletcher, but the captain of the ship you just overtook, over to the captain's quarters. They walk into there. The door closes for Captain Fletcher, Haverdash, and that captain to be within there. You guys now on the... Oh yeah, sorry. That's not even the right one. Here we go. Cool, there we go. Sorry.
No, you're good.
You guys, at this point, are now on the ship. You had a... No, that wasn't for that, sorry. Never mind. That was a old natural 20. Fuck. I'm gonna say if Moldrak... I'll just say the 3 of you guys. If you 3 just roll perception checks very quickly for me.
Us 3?
Yep, you 3.
Us 3.
Other than Cholonia, yeah. Because I was gonna say like who would be able to see him, but since you guys are here,
7.
10.
27?
27.
28.
Okay. So this is where we're gonna leave it off. You watch. You just keep looking at Haverdash, and you're not quite sure what it is that's throwing you off. But you keep looking at him, and then there's this moment where you lose sight of him, to like the front part as he turns to grab the captain and starts walking off. You see Cholonia for a moment as he's like covering him, and then you see the back of Haverdash, and you see Cholonia looking up at him, and then there's this look on Chelonia's face, like a just troubled look that he has. And that's where we're going to leave it for next week. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you watching. If you are watching, be sure to follow so you can be put in a giveaway for Xanathar's Guide to Everything. If you are subscribing, you get put in a giveaway for a custom mini from Hero Forge. There are VODs on the YouTube for you to check out all the way up to episode 69. There are podcasts on there as well, along with some other D&D games and a Cyberpunk one-shot that we did. So if you like those things, let us know, and we'll try to do some more of that content. Tune in next week, see what happens. Appreciate you watching. Take it easy.
See ya.